inflation, which is just affecting everything. It just makes sense to say, okay, where can I actually save? You can save a lot in one fell swoop if you switch to Metashare. The typical family saves $500 a month. Secondly, your conscience. Metashare members aren't forced to pay for things they don't support or believe in. And that's a big deal for a lot of people right now. They want their money to actually help people. And one more reason, you can trust Metashare. It's been the gold standard for healthcare sharing for more than 30 years. It works, and members love it too. It has double the member satisfaction rating compared to health insurance. So now's a great time to consider making the switch, and they are very easy to talk to. Metashare has great customer service. You can call now and get a price within 2 minutes. Here's the number. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Hi, it's Jada Cantor. My dad, Diamond Dave, will help you find the perfect wholesale diamond for any occasion. He's a fourth-generation GIA trained direct importer that ensures you the best quality diamond at a low cost. With his connections, knowledge, and passion, we will source you the diamond of your dreams. By appointment and in a private wholesale office, giving you the one-on-one priority you deserve. When it comes to diamonds, my dad is committed to sourcing your diamond with the lowest overhead of anyone in the industry. You deserve nothing but the best, and there's nobody else who will take care of you and your diamonds better than my dad, Diamond Dave.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, a lot of us play fantasy football this time of year, and it's fun. But what you should be playing is fantasy electric bills. What's that? It's where you get with Harman Solar, and they save you over 80% off your electric bill every month. Then, each time you open up that bill, you're going to feel like you just won a championship. Call Harman Solar today. Get a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQSN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Now, full disclosure, going to have to give you full disclosure. I did not get very good sleep last night. That damn puppy has the runs. So that means I got to get up like every hour or 2 hours. I was up like 6 or 7 times, taking the dog down the stairs, out the door to go to the bathroom. And so I am what I have coined as psychotically tired. I am psychotically tired. I don't know what the hell I'm going to say in this next 3 hours. I don't know if I'll notice when I say it. So, yes, check the dump button. That's always a wise first move when we start this show, but even more so now that I've told you that I am psychotically tired. I've been trying not to be grumpy, failing. I didn't take it out on the dog. I haven't been mad or mean to the dog. And so, I've been like, okay, I didn't yell at him, didn't get mad. When I first would wake up and be like, oh God, not again. But I didn't get angry with the dog. And I'm like, okay, you can't control what's going on now, except for the fact you could if you stop eating every little damn thing in the yard, bushes, trees, and poop. Yeah, he's been poop eating. The dog's been poop eating. And
Well, there you go, right there. I mean,
so, whatever is making him sick, it's self-inflicted. And that's fine. Not angry, not mad. So then you're like, okay, the sun came out. He went outside. Thought, well, he's going to lie down. He's going to get a little sunshine on him. Next thing we do, we turn around. He's digging a giant hole to China right in the middle of the damn grass. Just giant hole. Too tired to even be mad.
Yeah.
Too tired to even be mad. I just got him back inside.
Is he part Jack Russell Terrier by any chance?
I don't think so. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, which is why he trims all the bushes so he has little tunnels to run through. We have all those bushes that line the back wall and along the side, and he does that so him and Buddy they run around and he runs through his tunnels. And we think he's part Rhodesian Ridgeback and possibly Dachshund because he's a little short, a little bit long.
There you go.
So anyway, I'm just like, you know what? I call this dog in because he was running away from me. I'm like, I'm not even gonna fight with him. I did tell him off, once he was in the crate. I was like, you son of a bitch. And he's like, I know. I mean, that's true. I mean, that's not even an insult.
Right.
It was all I'm so tired. The dog was actually responding to me, and I'm just like, well, okay, well, now he owned me on that. I got nothing. And so yeah, that's it. I got to figure out how to stop him from eating, I think, his own poo or Buddy's poo. And I think he's eating Buddy's poo is because they don't have the same dog food. We separate them when they eat. And so maybe Buddy's poo smells like the dog food that we won't let Buddy, Bebo have. Are you following me here?
I think so.
He's like, hey, that seems like a tasty treat. Doesn't understand. It's bleep. So then he's chewing on the twigs from the bushes. And he has done that. Did I tell you about this? He's done the owl thing. Owls regurgitate. They don't poop. They bleh, and there's this big thing with mouse bones and hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He has done that a couple of times, but with him, is a loaf of twigs. There's all and goo. And then the other day, it was he mouth pooped. It was like the poo he'd been eating. So his stomach is regurgitating it. I think he might be part owl. I'm not sure.
Good day.
So I got to figure out how to get him to stop digging, stop pruning the bushes, and stop eating poop. Other than that, he's gonna be a great dog someday. Not today. Not today.
if he makes it.
You know what? I'm being as patient as I can be.
I know.
I'm trying to be cool with him. Warned my wife, probably hourly. I am psychotically tired.
Trying to stop your puppy from vandalizing everything, eating various things that he shouldn't be, and waking up several times a night. He sounds like a human toddler.
Yeah, I have a baby. He's a baby. Yeah, and and I was very nice about it today. I was, I might have been grumpy, but the only thing I said to my wife was, I thought we wanted a dog. Not a puppy. But she fell in love with this dog, so what are you gonna do? Anyway, so that other people have real problems. I get it, but I'm just saying today could go one of many different ways, and I would like a pass. So whatever it is, I hope it's legal issues aside, I hope I get a pass.
So Keon, he's warning us ahead of time.
Yeah, I've heeded the warning.
Yeah, I'm trying. I am trying real hard today to not, say things, I guess. 888-368-1580. Swazman, this guy is professional when it comes to dogs. He says, I'm in that pet care business and I take care of animals every day. My advice is act like you're living in a high-rise apartment in Chicago or New York. Get those pee pads. Yes, from you, good advice. Don't scold the dog. Just move forward in life. Well, the pee pads. Well, so you're saying don't let him go outside. Don't take advantage of the doggy door.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then you got to walk him like he, like we're in a, yeah. Okay.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
That seems like a solution for the moment, but that's not a solution forever.
Well, it's a twofold solution. There you get your exercise in because you're going for a walk.
You know what? You mind your own business. I'm busy.
All right.
I don't want to get exercise.
Jeez, touchy.
Told you I'm psychotically tired.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's good advice if I had time to get exercise, but I don't. He says some breeds are very undisciplined, like Huskies. Some dogs are easy to train, like German Shepherds. Well, I don't know what this story is on the Rhodesian Ridgeback, but so far he's a dick. 888-368-1580. Fighting Wampa says best way to get a dog to stop digging is to cut off his front paws.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Noted. I don't think I'll get away with that. Yeah. I've done the thing where you bury the poop in the hole. The thing is, he just goes and finds a new place where there's no poop, and I'm running out of places where there's no poop in the holes.
Well,
and it doesn't do well in grass. So Wilbur says, Jeffrey, your eyes are getting heavy. Your mouth is drying up. Your eyes continue to get heavier. You're feeling yourself leave your body. You're not going to hypnotize me. I'm not looking to get hypnotized, and not like you could, I mean,
also, you reading the text means that you would essentially have to hypnotize yourself, would you?
There it is.
How would that work?
I am unhypnotizable. So nice try, Wilbur. Berg says, Happy New Year's, guys. Congratulations, Randy White, third place in the Premier League. And he says, I'll see you all again there next season.
All right. See you next year, Scott. And thank you, Berg, for being a part of that and being a gracious participant.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he talked a lot of crap, but he sure did at the end work his way back up there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he had a hell of a run there second half of the season.
Hamilton Porter says, that's a working dog. Give him a job and he'll stop digging. You know what I did? I got all my receipts together. I gave them to him and a calculator. I said, do the taxes. And he just looked at me like he didn't even know what I was saying. So I don't know what kind of job I'm supposed to give him.
Yeah.
But so far, taxes is not his thing.
Maybe what you need to do, I'm just thinking here.
Yeah.
And this could serve as a multi-platform saving you and your family money. You get a herd of sheep, and you bring these sheep in, and you have them sitting out there in the grass, and then you get Bebo to herd them from the front yard to the backyard. See what I mean? And every time the grass gets a little longer, Bebo goes out and herds them back to the opposite yard that needs the grass cut. Therefore, you're not only saving on having him chew and dig, but you're saving on lawn care costs at the same time.
Now, it's a fine idea, except Rhodesian Ridgebacks are more hunting dogs. Buddy is more of the herding dog. So I don't know if that's going to help my situation with Bebo. Buddy is, the herder. Bebo is the hunter. So, and then I feel like there is an expense to buying a crap ton of sheep, and then I got to deal with the sheep poo.
Well, there. Yeah.
And then all you guys are ever going to get for Christmas or birthdays is what I'll do is I'll shear the sheep. I'll put the sheep hair. What do you call it?
Sheep hair.
I'll put the wool into a big old Ziploc, and it'll say, here's a do-it-yourself sweater. That'll be the joke that I'll use for everybody's birthday, Christmas present, you name it. Here's your, do-it-yourself sweater. Maybe I'll put in a couple of knitting needles and say good luck. So, I mean, I don't find any other use for sheep other than that.
I'll keep working, buddy. I'll keep working.
There are some previous people who've worked at this radio station who can find some really wrong reasons to have sheep, but I'm not about that. I'm just not.
Thought we weren't going to talk about that on the radio.
I didn't. Scratch Me Because says, this is what happened the last time my dog dug in the backyard. Well, whatever it is, it's not showing it to me. The photo you sent is untranslatable. So, Probably better I can't see the picture because I always assume the worst. Anyway, listen, hey, speaking of having a day, wow, Tyreek Hill's house is burning down. Yeah, he got excused from practice. They sent him home early. They're like, hey, Tyreek, good news. You get to go home from practice early. Oh, great. That's great. The bad news is your house is on fire. And Big George says, yeah, I hear the fire is being investigated as an arson and the prime suspect is Josh Allen. I don't think that's true. I think that's just Big George making things up, but his family's okay. Nobody is harmed, but I don't know if you've seen any footage of it. Well, that was a $6.9 million house. Emphasis on the word was, because that thing, the roof is on fire. And well, no, there's firefighters there, so they're not going to let it burn. But still, tons of damage right there. But he'll be okay. He's got like $120 million, nothing to worry about as far as where he'll go next. Yeah, that house, if you see it, that's a lot of smoke. That's a lot of smoke, which means there's going to be some structural damage on that thing. He's not going back to that house anytime soon.
Might have to look that up.
Scratching me because says his picture was an 8-pound Shih Tzu covered in mud. A little dog like that, man. You dig too much. That's dangerous for a little dog like that. Anyway, let's see. Let's just talk about some random stuff because my brain can't put together like normal conversation right now.
All right.
You guys hear about this Jimmy Kimmel thing with Aaron Rodgers?
I did.
No.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show, and he's like, there's a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, really hoping that Jeffrey Epstein client list doesn't come out, like insinuating that Jimmy Kimmel, his name would be on it. Now he's just mad because back in March, when Aaron Rodgers was going on there saying, well, you know why they released all this information about UFOs to distract you from the Jeffrey Epstein list. Aaron Rodgers is just absolutely fixated on the Jeffrey Epstein list. And so then, I guess Jimmy Kimmel got wind of that and made fun of him on his TV show, like a late night talk show host is going to do about anybody.
Sure.
So then Aaron Rodgers, I guess, takes it personally. And he came out and insinuated that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list. Well, in the world of legalities, that is called slander.
Uh-oh.
And so Jimmy Kimmel responded, called him Dear A-hole, but added the 2 A's like Aaron. Dear A-hole, for the record, I've not met, flown with, visited, or ever had any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list other than the clearly phony nonsense that soft-brained wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality. Your reckless words put my family in danger. Keep it up, and we'll debate the facts further in court. Part of that makes me think, look who can't take a joke. And the other part of that, I'm like, no, he's right. Yeah. He's right. Because what Aaron Rodgers is doing in the legal sense, technically, that's slander. And to insinuate you'd be in that. Because remember, Jeffrey Epstein's client list, this is a guy who facilitated pedophiles.
His plane was called the Lolita Express.
Right. Sex trade, human trafficking, you name it. And so to insinuate that your name would be on that list, well, that could just end you. That could just end you. So,
yeah,
I understand. Jimmy Kimmel's got nothing to worry about as long as his name's not on the list.
Well, yeah, it's just the issue, of course, is that you've got crazy people who will take it upon themselves to enforce justice that is not theirs to enforce. So if some dumb person, and there are enough dumb people, actually believes Aaron Rodgers and decides, you know what, I'm going to, there are places you can look up celebrity addresses. I'm going to look up Jimmy Kimmel's house and go bother him about being on this list that I think he's now on. You actually are putting Jimmy Kimmel in danger beyond just, he's got nothing to worry about if his name's not on the list, but if someone else thinks it is.
Do you think Jeffrey's address or my address is on that celebrity website where you can look up houses?
No.
There's a Jimmy Kimmel level of fame that none of us are near, and I don't want to be there.
1580 the fanatic level, and that's it.
That's good. I don't want anybody, peeking at me.
Well, anybody does, they're going to be met with interesting projectiles.
Well,
so but for Jimmy Kimmel, he doesn't know security. He's got people showing up in his bedroom, waking him up at all hours of the night. I mean, it's part of his TV show. It's completely scripted, but still, it seems like he has no security. But and the other thing is, when you put yourself out there like Jimmy Kimmel does, well, you have to accept that some crazy out there is going to do it, even probably without Aaron Rodgers' help. So once you get to a certain point, you have to have a certain level of security in your life. But he is right; it does put you in danger, like Keon said. You don't need to help crazy people figure out that they want to murder you. You just do the best you can. And so Aaron Rodgers doing that did clearly put a bit of a target on Jimmy Kimmel. And the problem is also Aaron Rodgers can make that comment. The list comes out. Jimmy Kimmel's not on there, but some crazy guy only ever heard Aaron Rodgers say, "Oh, I bet he's upset about that because he's on the list." That's enough for me. He's on the list. And then here comes the crazy. So, and even that could cause you to lose sponsors and other things. So slander, has a wide ranging effect. And so I think Jimmy Kimmel would win that lawsuit.
Yeah, and he seems pretty confident that he would win it.
Not a good look for him as a comedian, though, is it?
Right. No, but then given with the subject matter and the fact that Aaron Rodgers he wasn't on some, no-name network. He was on ESPN telling millions upon millions of people this. There's going to be enough goofy people that are going to believe him. I did notice though, Jimmy Kimmel works for ABC.
Yep,
that's also Disney owned.
Yep.
So Pat McAfee had to roll out there and apologize today. Yep. And everybody was making fun of him because they were like, he's serious because they made him wear a shirt with sleeves.
Right. Today he did not have
no tank top today.
Exposed shoulders
for Pat McAfee.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I'm sure somebody higher up in the brass there has talked to Aaron Rodgers to kind of get an idea of what they're probably asking him. Hey, it's in your best interest let's walk this thing back. Let's do what we need to do. But Aaron Rodgers, he may not care. He may want the fight. He's got that kind of an ego. And so they may end up telling Pat McAfee, hey, the thing that made your show big and famous, even though you paid him to be on your show, millions of dollars, you can't do that anymore. Then what?
That's a huge chunk of content there for Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Just saying. Takes up a lot of his show, the Aaron Rodgers segment.
He's going to get on the phone with, some other hey, Matt Ryan. No, forget it. Click. I don't know who he can get. I guess, Aaron, I keep forgetting Aaron Rodgers isn't retired. He's actually an active quarterback. So I guess, we have found his Achilles heel. Okay. I'm just, again, I told you I was psychotically tired.
Week 1, someone else found it.
Yeah. The turf did. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I also kind of don't care. I kind of don't care. But Jimmy Kimmel, you guys think Jimmy Kimmel right, or Jimmy Kimmel maybe should just be quiet?
Well, I
understand.
I think he was uber sensitive. I think he shouldn't have responded that way. And I think you're right. Someone can't take a joke. But on the other hand, he does have a case here. I mean, you can't just go around spreading rumors like that.
Part of the other thing, though, is the joke. Where was it?
Yeah.
It was not funny. Jokes, as far as I am concerned, and as far as I know, are funny. He just basically insinuated the guy was a pedophile. Mm-hmm. There was no joke there. So I tend to lean with Jimmy Kimmel just because, if it were me, if I were in his shoes and someone just casually put out into the world, I think you're a pedophile.
Right.
We might go the legal route, or we might go you want to fight? Because, what are you saying about me, man?
Aaron Rodgers should have made this joke a little bit of a variation on an old joke. He should have said, hey, say what you will about Jimmy Kimmel, but at least he slows down in school zones. See, now there's a joke. Took you a second, but you got there.
Yeah. He's on Epstein's list. That's not a joke. That's just, you believe that.
Scratch me because says Jimmy Kimmel is a dick. Aaron Rodgers is an a-hole. If they sue me, I'll win because the truth is an absolute defense. Yeah, I think that one is not slander, but to insinuate he is on a list of pedophiles, that could be slander.
If you call someone a name, that's not slander. That's just your opinion, and you can't be sued
Pedophile?
for that. Yeah, but now if you make an accusation about what someone has done, which is what you're saying when you call
Active
somebody a pedophile, then yeah, that you could be sued for that, and you will lose. You will most likely lose.
Well, I'm not calling you a pedophile then.
Thank you, I guess.
No, not you, Keon. I'm talking to Randy. Anyway, we got to take a break. I have to, well, now before he gets a lawyer, I'm kidding. All right, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns tonight are home as they take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Phoenix has won 3 in a row. On Monday night, they beat the Portland Trailblazers 109-88, getting 21 points from Bradley Beal, while the Clippers have won 3 in a row and 12 of their last 14 games. The Suns are a 4-point underdog at home tonight, minus 112, getting those 4 points, while the Clippers minus 108 against the spread. On the money line, Los Angeles minus 180, Phoenix plus 152. The over-under tonight sits at 233. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there too to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a reason why conventional healthcare is referred to as practicing medicine. Hi, this is Dr. Hannah Lindsay. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. I regularly see patients with a variety of acute and chronic health conditions, including many autoimmune and rheumatological diseases. We can restore pain-free joint function and balance immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and overall well-being. We emphasize natural and holistic interventions with lifestyle changes and take advantage of the full palette of care options from traditional remedies to modern science. We collaborate with experts in a wide range of health disciplines, including physical therapists and specialist physicians, referring patients as needed to ensure the most effective care possible. So how about a second opinion on your health? You might just end up feeling like yourself again. Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161, or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Screen time's over.
Be home by 11?
Put your phone down while we're eating.
When parents set boundaries, keep track of where their kids go, and talk to them about the dangers of underage drinking and drugs, they keep their kids safe. Visit TalkNowAZ.com. Be the influence. Talk early. Talk often. Talk now.
Thanks. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Big George wants to know if Moist One has anything to worry about when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein's list. He doesn't have the money to run with that crowd. Or, I mean, I'm sure he'll end up on some list. I mean, I'm sure he's on a sex offender list somewhere. I'm sure he has to let the neighbors know when he moves into the neighborhood kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. We only know that based on things he has said. So we can't get in trouble for slander. I have the evidence of every text he has ever sent in. And I bet if I were to show that to a lawyer, let's say Moist One decided to come after us, 10 texts in, he'd be like, no, we're good. You don't have a thing to worry about. This is an easy case. Thank you very much. Berg says, sorry about the dog, Jeffrey. Other people have real problems. I got a dog that keeps me up like a toddler. What's the big deal? I don't want to talk about the Jimmy Kimmel thing anymore. I want to talk about something else. Let me show you a picture. Randy, I'm going to show you a picture. You ready for this?
All right.
See this?
Is it,
I did
David
this.
Ross flipping the bird again?
No.
Oh.
See, I showed my wife this morning. I said, hey, how old do you think this guy is?
That guy is probably in his mid to late 30s.
Okay. Keon?
I already know the answer.
Okay. Well, Randy, this kid is 16 years old.
Oh, my God.
Like how?
That is Luke Littler, 16-year-old darts prodigy. And you're right. He looks like he's pushing 40. And I guess he's in England there, and he's like the number 3 dartist. Is that what they call him?
Dart player. I just call him dart player. Yeah.
He reached the final in the world championship there and set a record by averaging 106.2. And he won the thing 3.0, a 3-0 win over a Dutchman named Christian Kist. And that's the first time he'd ever been in this tournament. So he was the 2023 World Youth Champion and a World Youth Champion. He'll face fellow Englishman Luke Humphreys in the final. And Humphreys is 28 and he looks younger than this guy.
No
Luke
kidding.
Littler.
Yeah. Look at that. Maybe it's the receding hairline. Maybe it's the unibrow.
Or it's the dad watch that he's wearing right there.
Could be the dad watch, yeah.
Or just he's got a dad bod just in
dad
general.
Bod, dad hair, dad watch. This kid, I mean, I can see him and you're thinking at least 3 kids.
At least.
That's a Father's Day watch from 5 years ago.
He's 16 and he's got the 5 o'clock shadow going. I mean, dear God.
Well, yeah, that's a aggressive facial hair for even a 16-year-old.
And in the video, it didn't look like a shadow. I mean, it looked like he had a beard.
Yeah, I've known some 16-year-olds who can grow some really aggressive facial hair. Yeah,
but it's just everything else. When you account for just everything else about the guy, it's just like, man, I cannot believe that's a 16-year-old. Just
add it all up, and we need to check his birth certificate. Yeah, yeah. Lost Toby says, how long has he been 16?
That's about every year for the last 10.
Yeah, but this guy, I could watch video of him playing darts all day because also it's not just how he looked in that photo. When you see him play darts, then you're like, he ain't 16. Come on, look at the face. Look at that face.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch him than David Ortiz trying to do a gender reveal. Did you guys see that video? Big Poppy shows up and it's a gender reveal, I think for his own kid. And so
we can only hope.
Well, you never know. And so the idea was that like we're gonna throw you this ball, and when you hit it, things go and it'll give the color of the boy or girl, blue or pink. And but to go along with it, they had these little air cannons that would also shoot the color. So the ball would explode into the color, and the little air cannons would shoot confetti in the color. Mm-hmm. And so they threw him a nice meatball, just a nice softball right across the it was indoors, which is probably not great. The lighting wasn't good. I'm not trying to give Big Poppy some excuses, but he whiffed on it.
Oh boy.
He completely missed it. And but they didn't anticipate that. So the air cannon shot blue. So he's going to have a boy. And there you can see him in the video, like groping around. Oh, where's the ball? Where's the ball? He's like, he wanted to pick it up and hit it, But listen, he hit 41 home runs.
Yes.
And, he was a good hitter. We don't need to give him any crap because 541 more home runs than everybody listening to the show right now, at least in the major leagues. And so, he's been retired for a long enough time where you give him a pass.
I mean, he's been retired. He's been shot.
Yeah, the man has been shot.
A number of other things as well. Yeah.
In a foreign country.
Life-saving surgery.
No, don't go past it on a foreign country. Let me explain to you. You get shot in a foreign country, you're going to doctors who may or may not have gotten a degree. You're being treated by guys who maybe didn't show up for every class. If you
the foreign country he was shot in was actually his home country. So
it was
there's
that Puerto Rico, right?
I believe it was the Dominican Republic.
I was going to say, if it was Puerto Rico, it wouldn't be so bad because everyone's a surgeon there. Everyone there will cut you.
Everyone will cut you.
I don't know about the Dominican Republic.
So somebody superimposed a strike zone heat map.
Oh, that's good.
Of all of the places that he struggles to hit. And the woman that lobbed the ball lobbed it right into his coldest zone.
Oh.
And so people have been joking that she watched film.
She did.
She did. It was in that upper right corner.
Struck him out. I didn't see the rest of the video. Did he throw it up and hit it again, or did he just give up?
From what I saw, the video just ends when he's still kind of scrambling around for the ball. So I don't know that he ever got to.
That's funny.
I feel like he might have had a little control over that video getting out. You know what I mean? Like if I were him, I'd be threatening people. Like, no, don't you dare. I'm going to get Jimmy Kimmel's lawyer and I'm going to sue.
I could see this now. Some people are saying it was a Yankee prospect that threw the pitch. So because the Yankees could never seem to get him out in clutch situations.
Fighting Wampus says, I guess once you stop juicing, it's a little harder to hit a baseball.
Oh, come on. He didn't juice. Come on.
Well, there's an allegation. You also are going to need Jimmy Kimmel's lawyer. You'll need Aaron Rodgers' lawyer for that.
Even if you juiced, it helps you hit the baseball further. You still have to hit the ball.
Still got to have hand-eye coordination,
which he doesn't have anymore, apparently.
So. No.
I bet if listen, in baseball, you get 3 shots at it. He only got the one. I bet he would have lit it up if he gotten 2 more shots at that. Sluzman says, when I was a substitute teacher, I told the kids, hey, will you go tell that teacher to come help me? And they said, oh, that's not a teacher. That's an 8th grader. This kid was 6 feet tall and she looked like an adult from a distance.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah. Can I just say there's stuff in the food? There's stuff in the food.
Could be, yeah.
When I was in high school in Texas, I was convinced that everybody was drinking some water I was not drinking. Because all those kids were 6 feet tall. I'm not entirely certain how that happened.
This is what has changed. Remember when we were kids and we'd look at our parents' yearbooks, you'd open up, you're like, dear God, they're all 50-year-old insurance salesmen. Yeah. Everybody looked like grown-ups, like old ass grown-ups, right? And then we came along and we were kind of we're annoying, but we all looked kind of like kids, and we were idiots. And then now our kids, they're friggin' huge. Yeah. They still look like kids, but they're getting the facial hair earlier, getting their periods earlier, getting the huge and tall earlier. Everything has got to be because of the food. All the steroids that the chickens get, we get. So, we didn't have the steroid chickens, so that's why we're just this size. But the kids that came later got the steroid chicken, and their 7-year-old should not have stubble. That's all I'm going to say. Fighting Wampa says, oh, contraire, Ortiz tested positive for a banned substance in 2003. Might have been juicing.
I don't recall, so I can't speak on it.
He was caught one time, and it was a one-time incident, and it had nothing to do with him juicing. He was not continually juicing. His body type did not change. It was this was a something that was some sort of a workout. It's not a vitamin. What do you call a supplement?
Steroids.
So it was not yet. Well, it was not a steroid. It was a supplement.
What did the supplement do?
Well, these guys all use these different supplements and, creatine and stuff like that. And sometimes they take the wrong thing.
Well, for the Olympics in 2024, there will be drug testing, but I'm pretty sure this guy has not just been juicing, he's been gin and juicing. Snoop Dogg is going to be a correspondent for NBC at the 2024 Olympics.
Oh, boy.
So has he lost all street cred, or is NBC just making a ridiculous mistake?
I don't think he's lost street cred. He's an older rapper.
Let's review. He's been hanging out with Martha Stewart, which maybe that gives him more street cred because she's sort of rough.
Because Snoop Dogg's the guy that made it. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point of doing everything that people do on the streets is to not continue to be on the streets. Like, you hope to make enough money to go other places. And
he's
in his
made
case,
enough.
Yeah. To fund his ability to make music. And then once he was able to make it big doing that, just be rich. Well, I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about Snoop Dogg.
They are putting him in the primetime coverage. He's going to explore city landmarks, attend competitions and events, and visit with athletes and their friends and family. So they're not putting him in the booth, I guess. He says, we're going to have some amazing competitions. And of course, I'll be bringing that Snoop style to the mix. Let's elevate, celebrate, and make these games unforgettable. Smoke the competition.
I mean, he already hit there with elevate.
Yeah, I was on that. Yeah. And may the best shine like gold. Peace and Olympic love, you dig? Olympics start July 26th, and they are on NBC and Peacock. And it's the Summer Olympics, right? So I don't know. I might watch a few things. Again, we will probably have to go over our list of what is a sport and what is not a sport. I can watch stuff that's not sports, but just don't sit there and tell me it's a sport. There's a lot of stuff in the Olympics that are just not sports. Dancing around with a ribbon, you will never convince me is a sport, ever. That's not a sport. That's just, I don't know what it is. It's silly.
It's dancing with the ribbon.
It's all that is.
Have fun, enjoy it. I suppose the judges can tell you which one they like the best, but
would it be like an art form?
It's just dancing. Okay, good for you. Good dancer. And it's a subjective thing when you're the way you grade them for this and the way you choose the winner. I think gymnastics is not a sport. It's athletic. They are athletes. It's a competition, but I don't feel like that's sports. Mountain climbing, I don't know if that's in the Olympics, but that's not a sport. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the things on our list. Speed walking, definitely not a sport. You just look like y'all have a turd just ready to poke, and you're just trying to get there.
When somebody says speed walking to me, I think of that Chris Paul commercial.
He's got the fanny pack.
Man, look at those hips go.
We're going to have to probably get a list of all the Olympic events and see how many of these are actually sports.
Equestrian sports.
Yeah. Like diving, it's not a sport. You're just jumping in the water and people going, ooh, big splash, little splash. Oh, your form, whatever. It's not a sport. It's a competition. It's not a sport. Is handball in there? That's kind of, but not really a sport. It's not a sport.
I mean, I don't know how one plays handball. All I'll say is Hakeem Olajuwon was pretty dominant in handball before basketball.
Have you ever, Keon, so you say you don't know about handball. Have you ever played the racquetball?
Mm-hmm.
Racquetball? No, I have not. Yeah. I've seen people play it, though.
All right, so you take the racket out of the hands, and it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a sport. It's not a very interesting one. I wouldn't sit down and watch it. But
again, I don't have the list of the Olympic events, but basketball is a sport. Okay. Let's see if lacrosse is on there. That's a sport. Rugby is a sport. Volleyball, it's a sport. It's kind of silly sometimes, but it's a sport. Soccer, begrudgingly. Swimming, because it's a race. There will be a clear winner. Cycling, running, softball. Just seeing here what else they might do in the Summer Olympics. Water polo, yeah, sure, it's a sport.
Clarify, softball we're talking about is competitive softball, not slow pitch beer league softball.
Right. Pole vault, it's not. I don't know. Is that a sport?
Yeah,
I guess it's whoever gets up the highest with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any more on here. Like I said, we'll get the actual list because I know there's some dumb ass stuff that's not sports. It's the Olympics. Breakdancing is in the Olympics, says Taco Kenny. Guess what I'm thinking? It's not a sport.
Also, I don't think it's in the Olympics anymore. Had a one-time showing.
They had breakdancing in the Olympics.
I think it's going to be at the one in Paris, but it's not going to be at any other
Oh, that's
ones.
right. It's coming up. Ugh. Taco Kenny says, Happy New Year, Blender Nation. Snoop is funny as hell on TV. He made Peyton and Eli turn red on their Monday night show. Oh, listen, I enjoy Snoop Dogg. I just don't know. You're kind of, you're sort of, I don't know, blurring some lines, I guess, between professional broadcasting when Snoop Dogg shows up. Former pimp, former drug dealer? I don't know if he was. Or maybe he's just a customer. But whatever the case,
yeah, I think more of that.
Whatever the case, it's Well, I don't know what to think. Big George says, "Oh yes, David Ortiz was juicing. That's a fact." Okay, can't be sued for something that's true. Lost Toby says Snoop and Kevin Hart at the Olympics. I'm dealing with the thinky wheel. He says that was hilarious. They were at Olympics before. I guess I missed that.
Yeah, I guess I missed it too.
I don't really gravitate towards the Olympics.
I watched the track and field stuff, and then basketball. I'm kind of out after any of that. So
Swazman says, Jeffrey, it's exactly right. It's a competition, and that's what they do in the Olympics. Based out of Greece, for God's sake, in the middle of Europe. They do a lot of weird sports over there. I lived in Germany for 3 years. Okay. Now, listen, I get it. Some of these things, like I say, the competition, but not sports. That's all I'm saying. We'll make it more clear later on. We'll get the list and we'll go through it. But anyway, we have to take a break. When we come back, we have some more random sports stuff to talk about. We have a lot of NFL ahead of us. So stay tuned. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Hi, Diamond Dave for Desert Wholesale Diamond. If the store has retail hours, the prices are higher. If it's prime retail space, the prices are higher. If they offer crazy financing, the prices are going to be higher. And if they don't design and manufacture their own jewelry, the prices are way higher. Look, if you want the lowest diamond prices in the world, there's only one by appointment office that's importing diamonds direct, manufacturing its own jewelry, and using my fourth generation connections to save you an insane amount of money. Yeah, you need an appointment. Yeah, we aren't open nights and weekends. No, we don't have interest-free financing for 12 months. What we do have is true wholesale prices on diamonds, and we're in a comfortable private office.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Start the new year off with a bang of big savings during the Omaha Steaks end of season event. You can stock up on all your favorites and get 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off perfectly aged tender steaks, juicy burgers, decadent desserts, and even classic comfort meals. Go to omahasteaks.com, and when you use code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SIZZLE at checkout for an extra $30 off your order. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there too to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Wake up in the morning, get out of my bed.
Wake up, Phoenix, to the best new morning sports show on radio. Join me, Tony D.
And me, Ron Culver, every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. right here on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 Fanatic. Walter Melvin says, Jeffrey, watch it with those allegations and slander against Snoop Dogg, calling him a pimp. Well, no, I think he's himself said he was a pimp. I'm pretty sure that's actually part of his story. The thing about the drug dealer, well, I immediately said, well, I don't know, maybe he was just a customer. So I think I'm in the clear on that. But I think that Snoop Dogg himself has admitted that he was a former pimp. So no worries here. 888-368-1580. And all right, so let's talk some other stuff. Hey, remember yesterday when I told you guys something you could care less about the UFL, the awful, the awful, the awful UFL? Of course, that's what they should call their studio, the Uffle House. But that just came to me right there. Wasn't even in a dream because I didn't get any sleep.
Okay.
Anyway, so the XFL, the USFL, they got together and had an ugly baby called the Uffle, the UFL. And now they've released more information. It'll be, the XFL had 8 teams and the USFL had 8 teams. So the merger has brought them together. And now there will be 8 teams. Yeah.
So I'm not the best at math. I just think that
one of them could have died and we'd been fine.
Yeah.
We didn't need a merger for 8 teams. XFL, USFL, they already had 8 teams. You kill one and then all the other players go to the other one.
I definitely thought you were going to say a number less than 16.
Yeah,
but definitely more than 8. I'm actually surprised that it's just going to be 8 teams again.
Yep, 8 teams.
It's
8 teams.
It's just an admission that the leagues were not deep at all last year.
It gets worse. The UFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations has now been named as none other than Daryl Moose Johnston. That's right. He is now a higher muckety muck in this. And here are some of the teams that they're going to continue. It'll be the Birmingham Stallions, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats, Michigan Panthers, Arlington Renegades, DC Defenders, San Antonio Brahmas, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. So like 4 teams from the XFL, 4 teams from the USFL. And so there you go. Everyone else that was on teams that don't exist, well, I'm sure if they're any good, what you're going to do is you're going to have 8 teams of better players instead of 16 teams of worse players.
Yeah. See, I have a problem there. I don't hear the Arizona Wranglers in there anywhere.
Thank God for that.
Why?
It's not going to last.
Well, the real question is, are they going to play every game in Birmingham again?
That I don't have anything from. I got nothing on that. And if it does, which one of these leagues played all their games in Birmingham?
I think it's the USFL, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, again, we only needed to kill one of these, and then the other one, it'd be the same. You didn't need to merge. It seems silly.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't hear the Arizona Wranglers in there at all.
It's not a problem. You see problem. I see relief because this is going to be bad. It was bad before. It'll be bad again.
How
you
does
don't want
Texas
to be a part
get,
of this.
Like, did you say the Austin something? Or no, it was the Irving something.
No, here's what it is. There's the
Irving.
Houston Roughnecks and the
That's
Arlington Renegades. But
That's
Texas is like as big as a lot of countries, and
then the
it's
San
a big
Antonio
football place.
San Antonio Brahmas, I think it is. There are the 3 Texas teams.
Oh, yeah, 3
Oh,
Texas
wow.
teams. You're right. Yeah.
I don't hear Arizona Wranglers in there anywhere.
Again, good. Not necessary, as we have the Arizona Cardinals.
And it would also be embarrassing to see a better team playing in the UFL than you have in the NFL.
You say better, and I say the Cardinals are good. I don't know.
I mean,
But
I don't
hey,
care
I
how bad
understand
an
you're-
NFL team is. There is no NFL team worse than a UFL team.
You sleep deprived. I would understand.
There,
I
there
get it.
isn't.
I understand.
Just be glad you don't have to put that to the test.
You can't name the guys in the UFL. If they were good enough to be in the NFL, they'd be in the NFL. You cannot
what?
get a collection of 53
You
human beings outside of the
are-
NFL
You're
better than
probably
NFL
right.
roster. I am
You're
sorry.
probably right. But again, I say, just be glad you don't have to put that to the test. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. So, I can't get behind everybody talking all this crap about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Oh, my God, it never ends. And then, of course, New Year's Eve couldn't go by without you heard it. Travis Kelce was making out with Taylor Swift on New Year's Eve. Well, I should hope so. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, There was a problem, though. He forgot to report beforehand, so the NFL has flagged him for illegal touching.
Oh, boy.
Should have reported. It's a huge problem.
Oh, that's a good one right there, Jeff. Go. Good one.
Big George says, I feel bad for Ralph, Seattle Seahawks. Well, what about him? What's wrong with that? He says the Seahawk Dragons, they were contracted to the XFL and USFL merger. So we need to send our condolences to him next time he's on the show. Did he follow
I don't
the
think so.
Seattle Dragons?
I don't think so.
Lost Toby says, well, that's not how taxes and mergers work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you merge, you don't just, I guess they merge their 4 best teams, I guess. I don't know. Seems silly. Unnamed Texter says, if they were better, they'd be on practice squads, and they aren't. Better than what they would have had. If you've got 16 teams of crap, whatever is less crappy than the other crap would float to the top. And so that is better crap than the amount of crap that had crap before.
I didn't think that that floated. The crap.
Some
Unless
does.
you have a high fiber diet.
Sure.
And
Some crap does float. Some
mine
does
goes
not.
right to the bottom like a submarine. I don't know what the problem
Yeah,
is.
which one is healthy? The floating or the sinking?
I don't know.
Who's going to Google that?
Not me.
If you have floaters.
I think we've had this conversation on air before, and I forgot. Is the floaters healthier or is the sinkers healthier?
I just don't want to see anything I don't want to see. So I will not
Don't
be
look
Googling,
at the pictures.
Be
Just
Googling to find out.
you don't
Well,
have
I'll
to.
just Google just show you stuff,
Yeah,
man.
you don't
Like
have
it's
to
just
look
I'll
at
do
the
it.
pic- Don't look at images.
I'll do it.
I think the high fiber is the floaters.
if I can guarantee that the website I'm going to is a all
floating
text.
poop
Sure.
Or sinking poop healthy.
Yeah, Google knows all.
All
pretty
right.
sure.
Brown, well-formed soft stools that sink to the bottom of the toilet bowl tend to indicate a healthy bowel movement. Stools that float may indicate excess gas or fat in the stool. So, Randy,
Hey.
congratulations
Thank you. Thank
on
you very much.
your healthy sinkers.
That must mean I'm a healthy human being.
You learn a lot on this show, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Things you don't care about, but
Well,
Oh, the doctor is in the house. Screaming Eagle says floaters are healthier, and he texted that in before I was even done Googling. I just didn't see it. So thanks, Doc. Appreciate that.
Floaters are healthier?
Wait, what? We thought, but on the website it said sinkers. See, that's why you go to a real doctor and you don't Google things. Help us understand why the floaters are healthier, Doc, because I just Googled something and it gave me contrary information. I trust a real doctor, though.
Yeah.
Kiss the Cook is on the text line, says get. All right. Thanks for that. 888-368-1580. Maybe he was raptured.
Could be.
Right there. And his aunt, oh, yeah. Speaking of close to being in heaven, Al Michaels says he's going to return to Thursday Night Football next year. And he says, we'll see after that. So, 80 years old in November, Al Michaels still going.
Congratulations, Al.
He seems really good for 80, I'll tell you that much.
Go do your thing, man. Go do your thing.
A lot of people are saying that, okay, he's done. He's this. I don't think he's done. I think he's bored.
because they keep giving him crappy games to call.
The two good games they had this year, he actually sounded engaged and interested. Those are the two best games of Thursday Night Football from a broadcast perspective too.
Had some real sleepers on Thursday Night
Yeah,
Football.
just bad games.
Al says he feels healthy. He feels fine. And he says, I told Amazon I do 3 years. Next year is year 3. After that, we'll see. And to the people who don't like the way he calls it, F you is the attitude from him. According to Kirk Herbstreit. Al never said that, but Kirk Herbstreit said that's his attitude. He says, it's not a I'll show them. He's more of like, this is just BS. People are saying, doesn't care. And that's the right way to go. Well done, Al Michaels. So he does, although, I mean, I'm not going to be a guy that sits here and says, he's no good anymore. I do get a little sleepy sometimes, but it's probably, you're right, Keon. It's probably the matchups. So. Keon just decided not to talk anymore. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
We're going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Start learning a new language today at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Start the new year off with a bang of big savings during the Omaha Steaks end of season event. You can stock up on all your favorites and get 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off perfectly aged tender steaks, juicy burgers, decadent desserts, and even classic comfort meals. Go to omahasteaks.com, and when you use code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SIZZLE at checkout for an extra $30 off your order. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And just if you didn't hear the last hour, a lot happened. All I know is if your poop sinks, it's healthier than if it floats.
Well, I mean, that's what Google says. However,
Right.
Screaming Eagle, who is a legitimate doctor, said the opposite. He
No, it turns
basically
out he says, "Whoops, my bad. The LOL didn't get added to my text. I was trying to be sarcastic." He says, "I'll let you guys do the humor." Yeah, okay, Screaming Eagle. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting an LOL on a poop related text when it comes to health and
this is
safety.
life or death, Doc. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to share this information with the listening audience. You don't know who might be having floaters instead of sinkers.
I don't want to know. I don't need to know.
And it's our job, it's our duty to bring this information.
Duty.
I'm trying to be serious here, Jeff.
It's about the floaters.
Public service to our
sinkers.
Jeffrey, if you please.
Duty. It's always funny. It's always funny.
Duty is funny, but I was trying to be just for a moment serious about.
I went downstairs, walked by a dog, and the dog farted, and it cracked me up. Sorry, it's always funny. It's
Do
always
your dogs do this? Cecil does this all the time. He'll be laying there minding his own business. All of a sudden, he will flatulate, and then he turns around and looks at his bottom as if it's a surprise to him.
Wait, it's like, what are you up to? Yeah, because
What the hell was that?
They don't know. They don't understand what's happening. No. I mean, I had a dog once that a Doberman would run across the room as it was walking.
Crop dust, huh?
and then she'd look back and be like, "What are you going to do? I'll eat your face off. You can't do anything."
Well, that's true.
So some dogs get farting, some dogs don't, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's oblivious to his own flatulation, and I think it's funny because it
Scare him.
surprises him almost every time.
Quiet Cannon says another important factor is if the turd has been polished. Okay, I was gonna make a Cardinals joke, but I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Why would you do this?
I'm not doing it. Listen, I'm just saying I'm not doing it.
You're doing this to me.
I'm
What have
not
I-
doing it.
What have I done to you?
What I've made clear is how not doing it I am.
But you sort of did
I
by
didn't.
saying the
I
Cardinals.
I clearly said I wasn't, so I didn't. So there.
I was going to make a Cardinals joke, but I didn't. See, now you have basically implied the Cardinals are nothing more than polished poo.
No, I got you to say it. Kiss the Cook says, get rid of the Cardinals. Bring back the Wranglers. Cardinals stink. And that's not what he said, but that's the only thing I could say right there. So kiss the cook. Big George says, is it really the best for a doctor to be sarcastic? We're not his patients. He's just hanging out listening just like you are.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe us nothing.
Like Big George, can't you be sarcastic about the law as long as you're not acting as someone's lawyer? Just seems like outside of the job,
It's like the joke. It's like, how long do I have to live? 5 years? 4. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, listen, we were talking a bunch of random sports and stuff, but I think now is, let's move on to something a little more succinct, something a little more on the nose, something that Keon is probably wanted to talk about for quite some time, and that's where we're at right now with college sports, football and otherwise. And so we'll talk about that. I'm sure Keon's got some takes, but Michigan's Rose Bowl win over Alabama turned out to be the most watched non-NFL sporting event in 5 years since 2018. 32 damn million people watched that game.
That is incredible.
33 at its peak, I guess. And so, your game, with the Washington there, sorry, don't want to bring up bad memories. It was only 24.5 million at its peak, and it was an average audience of 18.4. Fourth most watched Sugar Bowl of the past 2 decades. So these games did get eyeballs, but why was Michigan and Bama more watched than Texas and Washington, especially when Texas is a big football place? You think that would have carried something there?
Yeah, I just think that the Alabama-Michigan game, first off, the Midwest, definitely also a big football place. So you got that. But also, people like to see Alabama lose. People tune in to watch Alabama
Really?
lose. It doesn't happen often.
Oh yeah.
But here is Alabama in a playoff, a place that they have largely dominated, and a team that could legitimately hand them a loss and kick them out. You know, plus you have the people who really think that Alabama didn't deserve to be there, which I think is insane. But you know, you add there was a lot around this game where I think that just people were just hate watching on some level for the Alabama part of it. And then, you know, the other part is that Michigan, legitimately good team. They're deep, they're fun to watch. And you know, you got all of Big Ten country essentially watching the Michigan Wolverines go up against Alabama and the SEC, and they get told all the time how much better the SEC is than everybody, and they're tired of hearing that crap. So they tuned in.
So it's my understanding the Rose Bowl is always on New Year's Day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the Sugar Bowl is that always on New Year's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, that helps them. That does help them because it's a day off, and how many other bowl games are on New Year's Day?
There's 6, isn't there? There's the Rose Bowl.
Well, I don't know if there's 6 games, but there are 6 teams involved, and so I forget what the other bowl that was
Fiesta
on.
Bowl. When's that? That used
Fiesta
to be a big
Bowl.
deal. It's like I didn't even hear about the Fiesta Bowl this year.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl, Liberty, was it Liberty and Oregon State or Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Liberty and Oregon, which was what an awful game.
Can I just suggest that the only games on New Year's Day should be the 2 deciding games for the national championship? Those are the only 2 games you need on New Year's Day.
Well, maybe now, but we were expanding the college football playoff. But that game was always a good game for 2 teams that were pretty excellent throughout the season, but maybe didn't have a shot at the playoff. Oregon was. They lost in the Pac-12 title game. And then Liberty had this undefeated season, and a lot of people thought that they're a small school that could maybe show some stuff on a national stage, and they're not ready. They're not ready, is what we learned.
Quiet Cannon says the Rose Bowl was awesome. 2 great coaches going at it, 2 great teams. Michigan dominated the first half. Second half, Alabama adjusted, compromised the Michigan defense. It was an awesome game. I'm sure it was a great game, but you got to get people to the game to watch the game, and you don't just realize, oh, there's a great game happening. So I really think that for the betterment of the playoff, you should only have those 2 games on that day. And
none of them happen at the same time.
Well,
more eyeballs.
The semifinals they rotate around. The Fiesta Bowl is one of those games that can host a semifinal game, and other games that are on New Year's Day. There's the Relia Quest Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Citrus Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl. I think that's it.
I think the Orange Bowl too.
Kick them all out. Make them do the other days.
Is the Orange Bowl also on New Year's Day? For some reason.
I don't think it's New Year's Day, though. Yeah.
I think that was on New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
I believe so. It's kind of all running together.
Yeah.
It was a lot of college football.
So if you kick them all out and there's only those 2, I'll watch those 2 games. I'll watch those 2 games. Just like, let's see who ends up going to the big
The
deal.
2 games in prime time are those 2 games. The other one is on earlier when if you weren't going to watch, you were already not watching.
I don't want it on. I just don't want it on.
It's not like they're happening at the same time and you've got to figure
Get it out
which one to watch.
No.
Oregon,
I might accidentally watch it. I don't want it there.
Oregon obliterated Liberty and nobody really noticed.
Yeah, nobody.
Hey, Randy, Hefty Lefty wants to know if you got kicked off Twitter or what's going on there.
I'm no longer on Twitter.
Got kicked out, huh? Elon Musk had enough of your nonsense, huh?
Not at Liberty.
It's hard to get kicked off Twitter, Randy.
Sorry, I can't say anything about that.
You must have said a reasonable thing or something to get kicked off Twitter.
Not allowed to. At the risk of being sued even further, I can't discuss this at this time.
Understood.
Yeah.
Lost Toby says the national championship right there. That should be the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I'm okay with that.
The Pop-Tart Bowl should be the national championship.
Yes. Yes.
Well, they already have a Pop-Tart Bowl.
There's a Cheez-It
and-
Bowl too, but they didn't do as good a job with the Cheez-It Bowl.
But they do have a Pop-Tart Bowl, and it was played the week before. It's during the like New Year's. It's after Christmas.
Well,
I know
Toby
that.
is aware of this. He just says that they should make that the national championship game, the
Why?
Pop-Tart Bowl.
I don't understand why. Why
Because
would
it's
you-
awesome. No, I understand. I do understand.
The Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah.
Listen, those Pop-Tart things are kind of weird. And then that mascot is maybe a bit pervy. I don't know if you saw that. I saw
Pervy?
he keeps coming up. She, whatever it is, keeps coming
it's a
up
he.
and trying to take pictures with the players, and they're all trying to move away from him. It's almost as if Miles from LSU is out there in that Pop-Tart. That wouldn't surprise me if the LSU head coach is out there and he's trying to recruit, and he's the Pop-Tart. What do you got, mascot?
Well-
and then they, at the end of the game, Jeffrey, listen to this. The Pop-Tart guy goes into like a big toaster, and then this thing comes out, and everybody eats it. Oh
Yeah.
my God. It was
I think
just
it's awesome.
terrible.
I like it.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Les Miles is not coaching.
I like Pop-Tarts. I don't care for Les Miles, but I like the Pop-Tarts. A random texter says, Randy, can you enlighten me as to when the infamous cereal bowl is played?
Well, that's generally on Christmas Day, isn't it? Cereal Bowl, I think. The Cereal Bowl
not
is
even
on
a thing.
Christmas Day. I think
That's
it
not
is.
even real.
I don't think that's the thing.
Then you got the cinnamon. You got the cinnamon roll bowl, and that's on. We see what the cereal bowl is actually. The cinnamon roll bowl. That's that. What do you call those? That cinnamon crunchy
Toast
thing.
Crunch.
Oh, there it is. There it is. See, Jeffrey, apparently a customer of the cinnamon cereal, and yeah, that's on to Christmas Day.
Lost Toby says, and this is why Randy got kicked out of Twitter. Okay.
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin says the Rose Bowl started at 9:00 on the East Coast, so that's probably why less viewers on that one. No,
What do
the
you mean
Rose
less?
Bowl had bigger viewers. The
What do you mean
Rose
less?
Bowl had 33. It was the Sugar Bowl that Texas was in with the 24 million. Heavy Metal Maniac says I got kicked off of Twitter, and he says, yeah, I can't see it because the whole system shut down on me again. I hate this thing. We always start off nice with these text line programs, and then eventually I end up having this conversation.
You know what it is, Jeffco. I mean, we just send way too much traffic to these things. We overwhelm.
You're not wrong. I do think that's an issue. Here's what he says. I'm very highly opinionated, and I said some things about the former president of the United States that weren't very good, and must say, goodbye, you are the weakest link. So you said some things about Calvin Coolidge, and Twitter didn't like it.
Why are you talking crap about Calvin Coolidge?
There's not a whole lot you can say about Calvin Coolidge, to be fair.
Right?
So,
That's what I'm saying.
So, by the way, speaking of the Rose Bowl, you know who saw the Rose Bowl firsthand in person with his eyes, not on TV? Connor Stallion. Connor Stallion was spotted in the stands at the Rose Bowl.
Forgive me.
He's the guy who helped steal the signs for Michigan.
Oh, no kidding.
He's the guy who got fired, and then because of what he was doing, Jim Harbaugh got suspended because they're like, we don't believe you didn't know about this. And so they suspended Jim Harbaugh, slap on the wrist, and that might not be over yet, too, from what I understand. So, but yes, he was there, and he was, I guess, somebody from Michigan, Chase Winovich, posted a video on his Instagram that showed Stallions in the stand at the Rose Bowl in the stadium with a garland of roses around his neck. I think he's taking credit for Michigan's win. He's out there in the stands with roses all over himself for helping them cheat.
Now, wait a minute. This guy could be, he could have, is he married? Is this young man married?
I'm thinking probably not.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, I was just going to say, maybe his significant other is, of Hawaiian descent.
No, he did not get
And,
laid.
What?
And he probably won't for quite some time. It was roses. They don't use roses in the Hawaiian lays.
I mean, they can use a number of,
It's generally not roses.
Decorative.
The thorns are usually
items.
Yeah.
You take the thorns off, Keon. Come on, don't be silly.
I mean,
I would
get
not.
that.
I would not expect roses to have thorns on them if you're going to make a lay out of them.
Well, you wouldn't make a layout of them. That's the whole point here, Randy.
Well,
I think that's more of a
it's nice and everything.
carnation kind of thing.
I mean, you
I
could
don't
do carnation.
Yeah, they're just fluffy flowers.
I don't think you have a carnation.
Well, what did they make the lays out of?
A number of plants indigenous to the Hawaiian Islands.
Mm-hmm. And roses, I do not believe are indigenous.
Well, I mean, they could be. I mean,
I got you on that one.
They could be Hawaiian roses.
I horticulturally fenced you into the corner.
Well, you did. You did. Horticulturally, you kicked my ass. I mean, what am I going to say about that?
Upstairs and downstairs.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe not downstairs. Probably.
The fourth dimension's not happy now, Randy. Now that you're off the Twitter, George is like, if you're not on Twitter, who am I going to tag in my posts? The entire population of everybody else that you always tag in your posts, George.
Yeah, there's that.
The 90 people you already have will suffice.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, usually you see a garland of roses, on a stallion in Kentucky. Yeah, not the
Well,
Rose Bowl.
that's after the Kentucky Derby.
Mm-hmm. Lost Toby says, I went to bed after that Rose Bowl parade started. I'm still recovering.
Well, I mean, I think it's terrible that
Understand.
you do the Rose Bowl parade on, the day after New Year's Eve.
You understand? He was up all night, New Year's Eve in it, and drinking it, and then he went to bed after the Rose Bowl parade started, and then he didn't wake up again until today, I think. So, which is the right way to go, I think.
Yeah.
So, by the way, some more guys who have declared for the draft, and we're going to count on Keon to tell us, this is exciting, or this, whatever. Georgia tight end Brock Bowers has declared for the NFL draft.
Yeah, he's the best tight end in the draft.
Yeah. Now, is he a like a elite tight end in the NFL, or is he a?
Yes,
he'll be pretty good.
Every expectation that he's going to be an elite tight end. Everything that he showed at Georgia, the ability to line up as just a very large wide receiver, but you could also bring him in that traditional he can block, pretty well, and then he's just a gigantic target you can use as a security blanket for a young quarterback.
Somewhere in Georgia, there's weeping and gnashing of teeth from the Georgia Bulldog head coach.
Oh yeah, no, Kirby Smart doesn't want him to leave at all, but here we are.
Oh well. Is he dating a famous singer?
Not that I'm aware of. No,
that's got to be on the to-do list. He's got to do that. He's got to.
Well, his whole career is ahead of him. We'll see.
Hey, is George Kittle dating a famous singer?
No, George Kittle is married.
I know.
He's got a different vibe. His vibe is WWE or running the tilt-a-whirl at a carnival kind of vibe. That's George Kittle's thing. So, okay, here's another one for you, Keon. Xavier Worthy has declared for the NFL draft from your school, Texas. Is this guy first rounder or not first rounder?
He's a first rounder. I think that a lot of people have him as a mid first round guy. Speedster can absolutely rip the top off of a defense. I like it's very similar to what Zay Flowers does with Baltimore, where it's just. He's just really fast, and you have to figure out how to corral him, basically. And you can see in the NFL just sort of what those kinds of receivers mean to teams when you have a guy that can do that.
Not looking forward to the headlines and the dumb comments about his name, Worthy. Worthy of an award.
I'm sure.
Stupid crap that people are going to do with that. The writers are going to do. So much so, I vow to always pronounce his name correctly. Xavier Worthy. I will never say it wrong because I don't want to be lumped in with all these other jackholes that are going to just, sports writers printing up things like, I'm clever. Oh, is it likely he's going to play?
Yeah, they did. And the thing is, we did the likely thing 2 years in a row because he kind of showed up last year, but now that he's playing more snaps, they did it all over again this year. Probably just pulled up the same stuff that they did last year and just did it again.
All right, we have to take a break because I had to help my wife with the groceries.
I'm not even kidding. I'll be back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheets. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheets. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
Start the new year off with a bang of big savings during the Omaha Steaks end of season event. You can stock up on all your favorites and get 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off perfectly aged tender steaks, juicy burgers, decadent desserts, and even classic comfort meals. Go to omahasteaks.com, and when you use code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SIZZLE at checkout for an extra $30 off your order. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there too to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
You know, whose idea it was to get a house with stairs. Everybody, it's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if today's Wednesday, that means tomorrow is Thursday. And that means GCU will be playing Southern Utah at 6:15 right here on 1580 The Fanatic. So now that I've said that, let's move on. A lot of text on the text line. Let's get caught up here. George says the Rose Bowl parade was awesome. He watched it live with his wife and his giant children. I might have added the word giant. I saw this picture.
Doesn't make it untrue, though.
He sent me a Christmas card in this picture. There's him and his wife and their new baby and his son, who I think is like a year and a half old, and he had like a wallet with a chain, and he had like 5 o'clock shadow and
goatee coming in.
Yeah.
I don't even think Big George could get a 5 o'clock shadow. He's got that boyish face.
Oh, his kid is the kids are huge. Cheesehead Bill says, "What incarnation are you guys talking about?" Well, I thought that Lays were made of carnations and stuff. Lost Toby says, no, most Lays are made of orchids. Dethorning a rose, actually, though, is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well,
I knew a guy
how do you do it?
I knew a guy that worked in a flower department there at one of the stores.
How do you get the roses thorned?
But he had a callus on his thumb and his index finger, and he would grab the stem and just with his fingers.
Ow!
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. I mean, he goes from being a florist. I'm conflicted.
I can see why, but
Random texture says, Jeffrey, not meaning to change the subject. Well, then don't. He says, I'm changing the subject. You mentioned yesterday that Letterkenny aired their final episode, and you mentioned it was quite good. Are you partaking of the Shoresy series by any chance? Yes, I am. Although, a lot of the same kind of humor, and they have the Shoresy character, but I think that this is just Jared Kiso's excuse to show a bunch of girls in underwear, like every episode. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It has a sort of story going, but and it's kind of funny. But I'm going to miss Letterkenny. Hefty Lefty says, don't know if I can trust Bowers in the NFL. He didn't go to Iowa.
Okay, just because Iowa is a factory and all they do is churn out tight ends. They don't churn out points, so it has to be something. They churn out tight ends, and you just fill the NFL with tight ends. Just because Iowa is a factory doesn't mean that other tight ends can't come from other schools as well.
This guy's a beast. This Bowers, if he continues on the track that he's on right now, man, he could be something really special. I hope the Cardinals take a look at him.
I hope the Colts do, because we're short of a tight end right now.
No, you can't have nice things. Sorry.
Old Ogletree's gone.
After all the things you've said about my team today.
I just don't think the Colts are going to be high enough to get him.
You know, if the Cardinals weren't so goddamn bad, I might have dropped the Colts and followed them since I live here. So you don't even come at me with that.
I'm not coming at you with anything. I just said you don't deserve any good things because you've been bagging on my
guess
team.
What I've got? A playoff appearance ahead of me. Okay, so there. Hattie Lefty says, best part about marching in the Rose Parade is the free in and out truck at the end of the route.
Huh.
What, really? There's free in and out? Well, then you feel like everybody who goes to the Rose Bowl Parade would just be at the end trying to get
That's
or is
where I
that
would be.
only for the parade participants?
That makes
believe
more
it's
sense.
I believe that's just for the.
I mean, I love
people.
in and out.
Yeah.
I'll go all day long to get me some in and out there. Wyatt Kahanen. Sorry. Listen, by the way, I didn't mention this for an hour and a half, so I better re-mention it. I am psychotically tired right now. The dog Bebo, the puppy, got me up every hour, almost every 2 hours at least. I was up 6 or more times taking him downstairs to go out potty. And that is, I have had no good sleep. So I have no idea what's going to happen the next hour and a half. I'll be honest, I have no idea what just happened the last hour and a half. So if the police show up, I won't even be the least bit surprised. But so that said, forgive me, Quiet Cannon. Pasadena is what Quiet Cannon says.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He says, then all 8 million people that have been to the parade go to Victory Park and climb all over the floats. It's pretty cool. Something different. 8 million people on climbing all over the floats?
Well, I don't think it's 8 million, but there are several, tens of thousands of people that go to this thing.
Sounds
and they
like
do
a
part
nightmare.
because they disassemble these things and then they go into storage. So
Shooter McGavin says, anybody see the Grambling State women's basketball score yesterday?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell me that only men are jerks, because that was not right. 136 to 18 or something like that.
They won
136
they
to
won
18.
by 141 points. That's what I know. I
Wait,
don't
so
know.
168 to 18. But give me the actual score. Dear Lord.
Yeah, it was big.
It was
So-
159 to 18.
159 to 18.
Well, I mean, the school that they were playing is a D2 school.
This
Or
is poor,
D3
this
school.
poor little
Oh.
Christian school
Yeah, the
got
school
whooped.
the school is literally called the College of Biblical Studies.
Yeah, they need to go back to them.
You just
Because why has your God forsaken you?
Well, I mean, imagine you're playing on this team, this College of Biblical Studies. First of all, you're getting trounced by Grambling. Second of all, you can't use any of the 4-letter words.
Nope, you are
all,
restricted.
all of the words that you would need to say to survive just psychologically. An ass kicking like that,
Son of a
can't-
buttercup.
you can't say any of them.
Gosh darn.
They finished the game with more turnovers than field goal attempts.
Good
They had
heavens.
57 turnovers.
Oh my God.
They shot 43 times.
That's just mean on the part of the other girls. Don't
It's not
tell me
mean.
girls
Well, no.
ain't mean.
See, this is the thing, because you guys, you're not WNBA fans, and that's fine. But they're mean. Women's sports is just full of very mean
I
people.
thought that was only softball.
No.
You guys have this wrong.
No.
Women are not mean. They're catty.
No.
That was extremely
That's just
catty.
another way of saying mean.
No, I was watching a WNBA playoff game, and I can't remember who it was.
Catty.
She made a layup, knocked over the girl who was defending her, and then Allen Iverson stepped over her. That is not catty. That's just mean. That's just mean. You beat a team by 141 points. You're not being catty.
Yeah, it's not catty.
That's just mean.
That might encroach right on Ditchy right there.
That's just the other team turned the ball over 57 times, and your coach didn't say, all right, we're going to call off the dogs today. We've done enough.
When I was playing in this softball league, somebody said, hey, for fun, instead of practice, let's play let's play these girls over here. Like a little practice for us, And this one girl, something didn't go her way, and she punched the back of the dugout and broke the wood. I'm like, why are you so angry? This is just practice. Oh, they're terrifying girls that play softball.
Some people are just competitive.
I mean, later in life, girls that play softball. If you're 30 and you're playing softball in a girls' league, people are scared of you.
All right.
No, I'm not kidding. Dear Lord,
just catty.
When you were beating them by 40, that might have been catty. When you were beating them by 80, you passed catty a long time ago. And when the time you got to 141 is the lead that you ended with, did you hate them? Like I'm trying to figure out who.
What was the score of that GCU game against? Who did they play?
Some technical tell you it wasn't 159.
Nowhere near this bad. Nowhere near this bad. That was bad too, but this is so much worse.
Well, I mean, Grambling, in their defense, they probably didn't have a fourth or fifth team to put in.
Yeah, but
what they should have done is just called a timeout, and they should have swapped and gave the University of Biblical Studies some of their players.
Yeah, maybe around the time when the game opened up on a 34-0 run. You might have wanted to consider it right around then, to be honest.
And after 15 minutes of play, this game is over.
So Niho says, hear me out. College of Biblical Studies versus Bishop Sycamore. Make it happen.
Oh, jeez.
The problem with Bishop Sycamore, I actually watched the documentary on that. It's actually pretty sad because the kids just got entirely screwed over. The guy running it is a villain. He's not sorry. He's not even pretending to be sorry. It's kind of insane that he's even allowed near any kids at all. Like just with the way that he ran that program.
Moist one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Different reasons, same result.
By the way, Niho on the text line, you should be Niho Hank. I feel like that should be your texter nickname, like NoHo Hank. You should be Niho Hank. But that's just me. You want to be Niho, be Niho. And I don't. Why are you Niho? What does that stand for?
Can I be knee high?
What if he's a knee high ho, and that's why it's Niho?
Well,
like a really short little ho.
That could be.
But there's no K, so it's not. It's just Niho. What did you want to be? What did you want to be? You want to be knee high?
I want to be grape knee high.
I've never had a grape knee high.
Oh,
I've had grape soda. Isn't that the same thing?
It is the same thing, but it's a grape knee high is really good.
Well, what makes it a knee high?
Well, it makes it. I just think that's just the brand.
It's a brand. All right.
Yeah, but it's a very tart and tangy and sweet. I can't explain it, but it's very good.
Well, what makes a Nia Ho? That's what I'll probably call him, Nia Ho. It's another horrible allegation. Don't sue. We're just kidding. Waldo says, girls in their underwear. I don't see a problem with that. Wait, what is he talking about? When did we talk about girls in their underwear?
You're talking about that new Letterkenny spinoff that has.
Shorzy. Yeah. No, there's no problem with that, but I'm not watching it for that. I'm a married man. Lost Toby says there's a metal thing you can use where you don't use your hand.
God, I hope he's talking about thorns on flowers. He says, no, yeah, I worked in a flower shop in college. Oh, thank God. Free flowers in college actually was a huge plus. Oh, I bet it was, man. Yeah, I bet it was, giving girls flowers all the time.
This Grambling State thing is worse than.
All right, fill us in.
So first off, they're 6-5, Grambling.
Okay, so they're not a great team.
Yeah, so basically, anytime they get the opportunity to play any of these smaller schools, they just stomp them.
So somebody hurt them, so they decided to hurt someone else.
Yeah, a couple of days ago before, they played the Wiley College Wildcats and beat them 109-41. So this is
now this is a problem.
They desperately needed a win, so
it's
gonna look good in with the committee later on.
The game before, they played Oklahoma and they got beat 103-69. So basically, they've just been on this tour of just taking it out on every other team they've seen since.
It was done unto them, I guess.
Just you didn't see that? I don't know. Just a bunch of innocent Christian women come on your campus for a nice, wholesome game of basketball, and then you just curb stomp them into the dust.
That's a villain origin story. Those girls are no longer Christians. Those girls are seeking other ideas right now because of this.
You guys got to keep that mentality. Come on, girls, keep your foot on the accelerator.
Jeez. This isn't like this is like, remember in The Hitcher when the hitcher connected the hands to one truck and the feet to another truck and then drove them apart? That's what that was. That's what Grambling State just did to these girls. Horrible. Hefty Lefty says the Shorzy storyline is more of a love letter to hockey players with the Letterkenny humor and insanely attractive women. Yeah, I did get that. It's just a hockey show. That's all it is. It's about the hockey. It is good. Just, Big George wants to know if my dog had diarrhea. Well, yeah. Well, of course he did. I mean, although when you've taken a dog out 4 times and they stop by the water dish on their way back upstairs, you're like, don't you dare. This has to stop. But then I'm like, I can't stop him from drinking the water, he said, my newborn has the yellow mustard seed poop, so I can relate. Yeah, but see, I guess so. You only have to walk across the room. I got to go up and down these damn stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. I think I have it worse than you do with your
about 2:00 in the morning. He's gone up and down the stairs so often his quads are really burning.
Yeah, this is probably good for me, but I don't like it. Kind of hating it. Are we going to get to talk football at all?
Boy, I hope so.
Killer Rabbit says it's hard to play basketball in an Amish dress. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, maybe they need to think about a different division. I don't know. We got to take a break. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
And just like that, it's 2024. The new year always comes so fast. The older I get, the simpler my resolutions are. Spending time with family, planning for retirement. But this year, I added protect it all to the list. When my best friend suddenly lost her husband and seeing what her family went through, I realized how important life insurance is. We weren't covered, so I went to selectquote.com, and in minutes, we had quotes from multiple carriers. Then, an experienced licensed insurance agent helped us find the right coverage for our budget. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. The holidays were for family, but the new year, it's for protecting them.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-280-8787 or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly.
Auto Parts.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or...
This is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So it turns out Arch Manning is not making as much money as everybody thinks he's making. Everybody talks about like, hell, he's making like $2.8 million with his NIL money right there. And, Brock Purdy, he only made $870,000 this year. So Arch Manning in college as a backup is making more money than Brock Purdy. Oh, it's a problem. And so then, of course, everybody starts talking and everybody, starts posting and all that stuff. And Arch Manning says, they asked him and he's like, what, I'm not involved with this. You'd have to ask my dad. So then they asked his dad and his dad said, no, the hell are you people talking about? He says, it's all BS. People just make up numbers. Don't believe what you've said, what you've read. And I guess as it turns out, the only money he's made really so far has been from Panini. The trading cards, and then there was an auction for his first rookie card there, the first Manning card for him, broke a record that was set by Peyton Manning, but he didn't get any money. All the proceeds of that went to charity. So right now, as far as name and likeness goes, he's only probably made the money that he got paid from Panini, which they say is like a low six-figure range. Still nice to make money.
Nice. Yeah, but at that point you're not making more than other people in your position are making. Like other guys like Bo Nix. I know Bo Nix made a ton of money in NIL. So he's not out of that range at the very least. I did read somewhere that he was saying that Cooper, his dad, said that he couldn't actually make some of these agreements until he actually started playing. So that's probably factoring into this as well.
Fair enough. But, a lot of people have a lot to say about other people's money, and unless it's something that is documented and out there. We talk about the contracts, the legit contracts of NFL players. Well, that's just part of the whole thing. That's part of the evaluation of like, okay, well, the team has this much cap space or where they could do this, they can do that. Those things are made public. But as far as the NIL stuff, I can't tell you how much let's say, I don't know how much Matthew Stafford makes in money off of ads, but I can tell you what his contract is. So, and again, who gives a crap? Why do you care what somebody else is making? It's none of your business. When it comes to the NIL stuff, you worry about what he makes when he's an actual professional player. Right now, his name and likeness, that's between him and the people who, they're required by some regulation to disclose all this stuff, with the according to the NCAA.
I do believe so, because they want to make sure that the universities are out of it. That they're, if you're allowed to be paid by anybody and it doesn't matter who the source is and all that other stuff, That's why the booster groups are generally the ones that are putting together these NIL groups. It's not the universities themselves, because they can't. Because then at that point, just pay them.
Well, whatever the case, leave Arch Manning alone. He's just he's probably making more than most people in NIL money, but and then again, even if he is making more than Brock Purdy, who cares? Who cares?
It's just an interesting thing that you can be a professional and make less money than somebody who's technically an amateur. I think that's the point of comparing the two, but I don't think Brock Purdy's upset about it at all.
No.
So
Brock Purdy is going to get paid. And right now, if he's got $870,000, he is more well paid than a lot of people. And remember, last guy picked in the draft. So here we are. He has earned what he gets next. When does he get what he gets next? When does that happen for Brock Purdy?
Tomorrow.
This is his second year, right? So
yeah, it's
2
his
more
second
years?
year. So in 2 more years, they can pick up that actually, I don't think the 5th-year option applies to guys in that round of the draft. So yeah, I think it would just be 2 more years and then negotiation time.
Don't you think they'll set him up this offseason? Don't you think they'll sign him up?
I don't know, but
make it right.
I mean, get ahead of it, but injuries and all of these things happen. It's possible they might just wait till that last season. And then while that's going on, work out an extension that goes beyond that.
He could always go back to school.
Not to play football, though.
Says who?
Eligibility's done. He hired an agent.
God damn, I'm so tired of the NCAA. Hey, by the way, Dalvin Cook, did he got released today? Did he get put on a team?
Not that I.
No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. That's happening. They're saying that might be the Ravens. It might be the Cowboys.
Yeah, that would be the Ravens just being greedy at this point. But yeah, I mean, they run the ball a lot. Having another person as a member of that committee, I think, would be helpful. And I think Cowboys just having some security for Tony Pollard would also be helpful.
You know who needs a running back really bad? It would be the Atlanta Falcons.
Fair enough. Yeah. If I am a Jets fan, does it really kind of get at me if he ends up on the Cowboys? Does that really
a Jets
rub
fan
me the wrong way?
I don't see why a Jets fan would be that way.
Jets fans don't get salty about the Cowboys?
Giants fans do. Giants fans.
Giants fan, like a Washington fan, a Commandos
Washington fan. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Philadelphia fan. Yeah.
I mean, they released him. So, whatever happens next. And the whole idea was for Dalvin Cook to give him a chance to go play for a contender. Are they thinking he's done after this year?
I don't know if it's necessarily that he's done. I mean,
they're thinking they won't need a running back next year.
Well, they have
the Jets.
They have Breece Hall. So
they don't need a running back.
Yeah,
next
so
year.
if they want to get deeper at the position, they could probably go in the draft and find a cheaper option than Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. Ravens lost Keaton Mitchell, so they could use him. Who'd the Falcons lose?
Nobody.
Bijan Robinson is on the Falcons.
Yeah, I know. It was a joke.
Oh,
some of these will be jokes.
Sorry, that one went right by me.
Well, you're sleep deprived.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
So it cost you $388,000 to grab him before he's free agent. Is he worth one game $388,000? You'd have to need him, not just be greedy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a depth thing. Is it worth it if you're the Ravens and Gus Edwards goes down? Yeah. If you're the Cowboys and Tony Pollard goes down, yeah, it would probably be worth it to have a guy that's played at a high level and has had 1,000-yard rushing seasons and everything like that on your roster.
Well,
he wasn't great this year though, so it is kind of a risk. I understand Breece Hall was just awesome, and so they just kept giving him the ball, which is the smart thing to do. But when he did play, and maybe it's just he wasn't able to get into a rhythm or whatever it was, but he did not look like the Dalvin Cook of the year before.
The $388,000 could also be applied towards the gamesmanship, just to make sure your eventual playoff opponent does not get him. And, it keeps them hurting in that category, I guess. Grey's Anatomy says, seriously, it's obvious that Grambling's opponent, the College of Biblical Studies, didn't have a prayer. It's going to be a 5-minute penalty. Good to hear from you, Grey's Anatomy. Beer Bob says, I believe I heard Brock Purdy only has a 3-year deal and he can renegotiate, or they could extend him after this season. Also, I think he has bonuses that could make his deal for this year up to $3 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, look, if they go to the Super Bowl, you can bet that his agent is going to be talking to the GM of the 49ers, and he will get paid, guaranteed.
Hefty Lefty says, Falcons need to lose their head coach.
Yeah.
Sure, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, the owner of the team sounds like he agrees. So
there's going to be a lot of head coaches signing up for unemployment here very shortly. Lost Toby says, sorry guys, this text line's going a little slow today. Let's see. He says, yeah, but Purdy lives in the Bay Area, so barely above the poverty line. Brock Purdy originally had to have a roommate. Yeah, San Francisco is very, very expensive. I don't know where Justin Jefferson lives, but he's now $13,659 poorer because he did this. Pew, pew. He made the little pew, pew gesture. It's very quick towards the camera when he was playing against the Lions on Sunday. Got a touchdown pass. Pew, pew. Did one of those things. And, so they decided, well, that's a violent gesture. You're fined $13,000. Just from this, hey, this guy. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, I mean, look,
come on.
It's annoying if someone ever, gives you the finger guns in real life, but that's not a violent gesture.
Justin Jefferson did the finger gun, and that inspired me to get an AR-59 or whatever the hell it is and go shoot things and people. Why not? Justin Jefferson inspired me. Pew, pew. Just don't see the correlation between him going pew, pew and violence.
Yeah, I don't.
He also got fined for taunting week 4 for making the too small gesture when he was getting a touchdown towards the guy covering him.
But that
funny. Makes more sense than pew pew. All right, giggity giggity.
Do you know how many pickup basketball courts the too small is happening on all the time, everywhere?
All of them.
It's barely offensive at this point. No one's offended by this. You just stop getting scored on. I don't know.
The things the NFL finds you for, and the things the NFL lets slide, and the things the NFL just makes no damn sense sometimes.
No, it does not.
We're going to talk a bunch of NFL here in a second, but I have some quick man talk for you. I just want to give a man card violation against this guy. So there's this guy. He's like, I'm trying to become a gym teacher. And he says, I took the classes. I passed the course, but they won't let me do it. They won't let me do it remotely. It's like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
He wants to do it virtually. He wants to do it because he has a note from his doctor saying, this guy is 400 pounds and he can't stand for long periods of time, and he's got asthma. And so he needs to do this over a Zoom call. And the school's like, well, are you crazy? That's a PE teacher. We're hiring a PE teacher. Physical education. How is anybody going to listen to a guy teaching physical education that's 400 pounds and can't stand for long periods of time and has asthma and has to do it from his bed?
That's the issue. That's the last part. The last part is actually the most important part. It's physical education. You do physically have to be there. That's how that particular education works.
You should be able to do the things you're asking the students to do. I mean, I get it. Those who can't do are 400 effing pounds and can teach, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm suing. They're discriminating against me. And then he's like, I'm also mad at the professor at Wayne State told me I wasn't qualified to be a gym teacher. Yeah, because you can barely stand or walk. And now you're mad? You know what I would do? Let's FedEx him over a mirror and just that's why. Do you see it? Listen, There's a lot of things you can do at 400 pounds. And I'm sure there might be some medical reasons. You're 400 pounds. But maybe this is not one of them.
Yeah, like they are discriminating against him, but like with a cause, not just for no good reason. It's not like they denied him the ability to be a Spanish teacher.
All I asked for was a reasonable accommodation. It's not reasonable. It's not reasonable.
It's just, look, I've had some teachers that weren't like some gym teachers that were not necessarily in the best shape. But when they asked us to do push-ups, they were at least able to knock out 10 just to show you that it could happen.
When I was in 4th grade, we had a gym teacher that made us run around the inside of the gym because he would sit in the middle in a lawn chair with mirrored sunglasses on because he was deeply stoned out of his mind and probably couldn't do anything, but at least he was wearing the shorts.
There was at least a legitimate threat he might do some exercise.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could sober up, maybe. I'm sorry. 400 pounds, and okay, fine. You could be a gym teacher, but I can't stand or walk much. Well, now we have a problem. Anyways, man card violation, if you ask me. Got to take a break. More of the Daily Blender after this. You're on 1580 The Fanatic.
And just like that, it's 2024. The new year always comes so fast. The older I get, the simpler my resolutions are. Spending time with family, planning for retirement. But this year, I added Protect It All to the list. When my best friend suddenly lost her husband and seeing what her family went through, I realized how important life insurance is. We weren't covered, so I went to SelectQuote.com, and in minutes, we had quotes from multiple carriers. Then, an experienced licensed insurance agent helped us find the right coverage for our budget. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. The holidays were for family, but the new year, it's for protecting them.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
2 yards should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron for him. They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
What in? The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best teed up at the 2024 WM Phoenix Open presented by Taylor Morrison. February 5th through 11th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, you're ready to pout, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, we have talked about a great many things. So as I clean up the rest of the text line here, we may have to reset some of these things. Cheesehead Bill talking about Grambling State gals putting on 150-plus pounding over a little college of biblical study girls. They had 18 points. Cheesehead Bill says, as a former redheaded stepchild, even I feel bad for that girls' basketball team. Yeah, I mean, everybody feels bad for those girls. I mean, I don't know. It's like maybe they shouldn't have been there. You know, maybe you're not ready to field or court a team. You know what I'm saying? Can you look at their record? You know, how they've done? Because something don't seem right there. Happy Lefty says, do you know how many bedrooms? Oh, I don't know where this is going. The too small gesture is happening in. I imagine just yours. Pull the Plug says, yeah, that guy, the fat PE teacher, needs to move to California. He'd probably be successful there. Or maybe become a replay official for the football league. Those could work. Yeah. Listen, I'm not trying to keep this guy from getting a job, but let's be realistic. Okay. Let's be realistic. You know, he should not be a bullfighter either. You can't be a bullfighter remotely. Pull the Plug says, take PE and add W. Pew. Yes. Pew. No, if you do that, you'll get fined $16,000 like Justin Jefferson for going pew, pew. So yeah, don't, I know he's trying to make a joke about, people say about the teacher who can't shower because he's 400 pounds. I don't know. 400-pound guy can get in the shower. It's a 600-pound guy that can't get out of bed, right? How big do you get before you can't get out of bed? I know a lot of people watch My 600-Pound Life. Those people get craned in and out of bed or something. I don't know. How is 400?
You mean there's an actual crane that will lift you in and out of bed?
Well, they cut a hole in the wall so they can take somebody out of their apartment, that sort of thing, that kind of thing.
Oh,
but how big do you get before you can't just get up and go to the bathroom? I've had some friends who are 300 pounds plus.
I think that's up to you, to your physical abilities. When you can no longer physically support the weight with your legs, you can no longer bend and move because of your weight.
Gee, I feel that way at 200 pounds.
Well, I'm being serious. I think that's when the decision has to be made to get you up and move you around, and so you don't get bed sores and things like that. And they have to, they've got to maintain the bed and take care of the sheets and and your clothes. They've got to wash you and stuff like that. So
I feel bad for anybody in that situation because a lot of times it's not laziness, it's medical conditions that get them there. And I can feel bad for them, but you also have to be reasonable about what you can do for a living. Yeah. And PE teachers, not that. But Moist One says 600-pound life is way too erotic for national network television.
Oh, no.
Your Honor, Exhibit A.
I couldn't find the record of the College of Biblical Studies anywhere. So I went to their website to go count the record myself from the games that they have listed. They haven't won a game. So that was pretty fast.
How long have they been allowed to play other people?
Oh, boy. Let me see if I can.
You know what I'm saying? Something don't seem right there.
But earlier this season, they played another school I've never heard of, Huston Trelotson University, where they only scored 19 points and got beaten 106-19. So
they're good for 18 or 19, but no more.
They've had games where they've gotten up to 50.
Ooh,
yeah. They didn't win any of them, and they gave up about 80 or 90 each time. But they can get to. They're good for about 57 points at their max.
So what you're saying is they're used to taking a good shellacking when they get on the court.
I mean, maybe not like that, but
occasionally they'll put up some points, and they're like, who's the Jezebel now, heretic?
Oh, geez, just sometimes
their chirping is just extraordinary.
For the GCU broadcast, they'll do the post game interview with a player, and then I'll go to the GCU website to make sure I'm spelling that person's name correctly before I send it off to Michael Potter so they can use it. So I say that to say I know a school has no money when I go to their website and things are just taking a little little more time to load than others, or they only play basketball. That's another thing I noticed on their website. They have teams. Are they good?
Right.
Obviously not. But those are the only sports listed are men's basketball and women's basketball. We don't play anything else here.
New bumper sticker says Grambling State is for jerks. Because that just was not cool.
Well, because when you scheduled it, you had to know. It wasn't a mystery to you that you were playing a team that routinely fails to score over 30. Like, that's not a mistake.
Talk about padding your stats. Dear God.
Yeah, three players score over 20. Yeah, I mean, it's
so we gave the 400-pound guy a man card violation, not for being fat, but for expecting to be able to teach a physical ed class from the comfort of their bed over Zoom to a bunch of kids who'd be running around doing stuff. It's just dumb. So now I am also, just so you know, before we move on to NFL stuff, considering man card violation status for, remember at 90210 show there? I never watched it, but back in the 90s, but that Ian Ziering was a guy on that show, and he was like a tall guy. And then he was in Sharknadoes, all the Sharknado movies or something. I don't know what he does beyond that. Sharknado and 90210. And so I saw the headline and it caught my attention. Ian Ziering says he was attacked by a gang of bikers. I'm like, ooh, well, he just got his ass kicked, didn't he? And so I couldn't help myself and I clicked on it and I looked at it, and TMZ has a couple of videos. Ian gets out of his car, right? Engages with some bikers. And what happened is, they bumped into his car, so he was trying to check, the damage. And when he did, his 10-year-old daughter was in the car. So this is not a good time. And I don't know. He's a tall guy. Maybe he thought that he would just yell at them. It's L.A. But he got out, and there's these bikers. And next thing you know, they swarmed him and just started raining blows upon him. Part of the story I left out is these are mini bikes. And the one that was wailing on him the most was a heavyset lady. It wasn't like bikers. These are like mini bikers. And I don't know why they were angry, but he's like, wow. I am deeply concerned about the growing boldness of such groups who disrupt public safety and peace. You should be disturbed you got your ass kicked by a bunch of midgets. Right there is what happened. He's like, the hooliganism. It's just
hooliganism.
They're little mini bikes, man. You can't take these people seriously. But I guess the fact you were unharmed. That was the thing it says. He was unharmed. Well, you got attacked by a swarm of bikers, and there's not a mark on you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't know if you can sit there and claim boohoo on this. I don't know.
Raining down blows upon him.
I urge city officials and law enforcement to take decisive action against such lawlessness and provide necessary resources to prevent future occurrences. Now, to be fair, one of the little guys took off his helmet and bashed his windshield in with it. So I'm sure that was scary for the girl inside, no matter how I could have grabbed one of these people, swang and took out the rest of them. These were nobody that you needed to worry about. But when there's a lot of them and you're out there going, hey, what did you do to my car? Oh, geez, what the hell? I can get it. You get chased by a bunch of people trying to hurt you, it's a concern.
Yeah,
but I can't. I was about to give man card accreditation for this. Wow, Ian Ziering got attacked by bikers, and he lived to tell the tale. The mini bikers, though, they're
just mini bike riders, like scooter riders, or
like little miniature motorcycles.
And
it was funny because after they were done, whooping up on this guy. They jumped on and they sat there for a second. You know how bikers do? And they're waiting for the leader to go first.
So in this case, it was like,
yeah, they were pretending like they were a real motorcycle gang.
Oh, boy.
Pull the plug says many bikers were upset because they weren't allowed to join the Hells Angels via Zoom. That's right.
They'd have to be.
Yeah.
They couldn't be Hells Angels. But they could make their own little biker group. I call them Hex Angels.
Yeah.
Hex Angels.
This little heavy-set woman in Hex Angels decided she was like this tall. It was more of a Karen attack than it was a biker attack.
Don't get out of your car and scream at me.
Don't you use that tone of voice. How dare you? So I don't know what to do with this. I don't think it's a violation, but it's definitely not accreditation. If I got attacked by a bunch of people on mini bikes, I would say it was the best day of my life.
Yeah,
I would be like, this is hilarious.
I'd
Especially
roll
I'd
down
be
on the ground
laughing
and
like,
start laughing.
oh, stop! You're tickling me. Stop it. Oh my God, this is funny.
Not a scratch on him. There's no reason to come away from that mad.
Completely
Well,
unharmed.
You guys couldn't see the scratches. They were from his waist down.
Yeah.
Wow.
They weren't much taller than that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm this is still under advisement, I guess.
When he takes his jeans off, his wife, what the hell?
Whoa, did you run through some rose bushes? What happened there? Well, I didn't have that metal thing that Lost Toby says takes the thorns off. So, all right. So, men, I do have to alert you to a couple of things really fast. A couple of things that you need to know when dealing with your ladies. Okay. And first off, there's some ladies starting something out here, and you may run into this. So, just fair warning. If your girlfriend is like growing her leg hair out or like her sideburns or anything, it turns out it's January. They're calling it January. And somebody came up with this to encourage women to stop shaving, waxing, or plucking for the first month of the year because they want to normalize body hair on women. So if you start seeing your porcelain doll become Sasquatch, this is just to, it's okay. Just let them be them. Don't be.
Is it though?
I'm not going to care for it. But to be honest, they haven't been shaving their pits and other things for more than 100 years. This whole thing where a girl shaves her underarms or her legs, that is new. For really? Thousands and thousands of years. It was like going to a little fair concert, it's like a little bit of the 90s hippie time,
So when did that start happening? When did that become a
like in the 1800s, like late
in the
1800s, early 1900s.
All right.
And so this January started in 2019. And so there's been 6 years of people doing this. It's starting to gain popularity. So 40,000 people follow the January Instagram account. I would say 39,000 are men who are just into that kind of thing. But there's a lot of people following this. And they say their goals include promoting self-confidence, challenging societal beauty standards, and creating supportive community where people can share their journey. Is it really a journey? You just didn't shave. You just got hairy, I guess. So
even the guys in Journey shave.
No, I'm sorry. Not that kind of journey.
Oh, sorry.
But one of the founders say dedicating a whole month to it is liberating because it gets you thinking about the way you treat your body and why. I kind of like that. It's none of my business what a woman does with her body. She wants to shave, then cool. If she doesn't, all right. But I'll probably have an opinion that I keep to myself about it,
I'll have an opinion that I will keep to myself.
They have plenty of opinions about whether I have a beard or not, well, that's pretty much it. That's it. Then,
So it's liberating for everybody except those with a counterpoint.
I just,
or a countering opinion.
Women, now that it's easy to look unhairy, and it seems to be, more feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to do that?
I
get it. You get tired of shaving. My son, who was in the Marines, he came back and he's like, I am not going to shave for as long as they made me because I got so tired of doing it. And I get it. And then you're thinking, oh, I have to do this to live up to the beauty standards of men and of society. Okay, I get it. I hear you. Does anybody prefer a woman all shaggy? There's
I'm sure somebody does, but
I don't know.
It's still up to that person. It's not
none
about,
of my
it's
business.
Not, it's like it's not about what you prefer.
Sure.
Like if it's not you, then
none of my business. None of my business.
That's kind of where I stand on it, I guess.
I'm only telling you not to debate whether it's but it's more just to let you know. Don't be startled if suddenly she looks like
things start sticking to your wife like a piece of Velcro.
Or she looks like remember that Play-Doh thing where you pull the thing and the hair would come out like that.
Or when she waves at somebody and her underarm hair waves as well.
Yeah. Can I just say though, trimming your underarm hair is a good way to not make it stinky. I learned that.
You shave your armpits, do you, Jeffco?
No, I've started just with the scissors. With the scissors, I'll pull it and snip it so there's not so much in there. And then I've noticed I don't stink as easy because I was having a problem there. I was stinking through my deodorant all the time. So, just saying. Coom says shaggy in some areas, but shave your big toe for God's sake. Yeah, they're just some things that are. But back in the 1800s, a woman had a hairy toe. She had a hairy toe. So
I'm gonna have to ask Miss Kim about that. Is it big toe hair? Is that a thing?
I wouldn't ask her that.
We're all being careful, sort of, on this, but
I would not.
Let's just be honest. Women look better with the shaved legs and the armpits and the mustaches and the arms, whatever. They look better, more hairless than say we do.
Hairless than hairy.
Yeah,
that's what we're used to.
That's what we're used to, and that's what we see as feminine. But back in the day, a girl would wave goodbye to you, and you'd see this big old tribble, this patch of hair under the arm. Wouldn't even phase you. You'd still go like, "What a beautiful woman." Did you hear? We're gonna be like, "Oh, Jesus God, what is that?"
I've been to some places in the Caribbean. No one's worried about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that's what the folks who live there are used to.
Yeah. So we're not used to that. So again, I'm not judging. I'm not telling you what is beautiful, what is not. But if you're not used to it and it shows up, it's January, and you'd be best served to say nothing. Just say nothing.
Just stay
Don't
quiet.
say, "Hey, it looks like you got a midget in a headlock." Don't do it. And if you reach over your foot in the middle of the night, you feel, what is this? There's a lot of hair on that leg. Just keep it to yourself. Smartest thing you're going to do is don't say a word. But this is just us talking right here.
I see.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan. It's none of my business.
That's not what you're used to. So why would you be?
Oh, by the way, there's another thing that's coming out you need to know about. There's a story, and you can use this for good or bad, but they're saying there's this moisturizer they're selling at Sephora that attracts spiders.
A moisturizer
Yeah.
that attracts
Yeah.
spiders?
Specifically, those big, nasty wolf spiders.
Why?
Called Delicia Drench Body Butter. And it's sold by Sol de Janeiro. And rumors started because somebody posted a 1-star review saying, "I had to stop using this because I was constantly getting swarmed by spiders." They said they don't usually see many wolf spiders where they live, but it became a daily thing as soon as they started using the product. Then, of course, the rumor gained traction, and then people online, a few people said, "Well, there's a couple of chemicals in there that and other skincare products that mimics the pheromones from sexually receptive female spiders."
Oh boy!
So you smell like a spider in heat, and here come the wolf spiders.
Oh boy!
And so now you got a bunch of horny spiders coming at you. And so now turns out it's a hoax. But the company had to put out a statement saying, guys, our body butter does not have these chemicals. And even if they did, spider experts say that probably wouldn't happen.
Guys.
But other customers said, no, it's true. We've had it happen too. And so I don't know what to believe. Do you believe Big Sephora or one person on the internet?
Well, if there's other people, even if it's just, anecdotal evidence, I get that. Yeah, just to be safe.
So if you're tired of her spending all that money at Sephora, wolf spiders might just bring that up.
That's one way of doing it. Yeah.
Of course, it's a hoax. So now you're
spreading misinformation specifically to your partner.
Would that be like slander? Didn't we start the show this way?
There was so much stuff on Facebook that people just like during COVID, that they went and believed. Well, why can't I believe this? Why can't this be my one thing?
It's honestly, it's the least dangerous one thing to believe.
If you want to believe this, Jeffco, you go right ahead and believe it.
How much charity could I fund with all the money that gets spent at Sephora in this house? You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Spiders.
Have you shared that information?
No, she's too smart to buy this. I don't think I can get away with it, but someone else might. So I'm just giving you the information. Do with it as you want.
Yeah.
But this was in the Newsweek magazine. So
Newsweek,
you could say it was in Newsweek that somebody said that wolf spiders were attracted to the Sephora moisturizer.
Well, there you go.
That sentence I just said is true.
Wait, what?
I didn't follow up and say it was a hoax that was proven to be a hoax, but that first sentence, true as the day is long.
All right. Well, it was in Newsweek, and
it was in Newsweek.
Yeah.
Of course, girls, they'll look it up. Then you're going to be in trouble. You may not want to do that. On second thought, forget I said anything.
Never mind.
But look out for the hairy woman. That's true. That is happening. That's happening.
I'm gonna during the break, I'm gonna go to what is that hoax.com and see if it's a hoax or not.
What, the hair thing?
January.
No, January is real, man. Just take your bare foot and rub it up and down her leg and see. Like, yep, there it is.
Oh, I have no problems with that. Listen, Miss Kim is nice and smooth.
Yeah, and not every girl is doing it. I'm just warning you in case you run into it. Keep your mouth shut. That's the message that you need to take with you today.
Okay.
If she's fuzzy, if she's hairy, if she's prickly, don't say nothing.
Well, that's good because I would have just blurted out the hell's going on here.
If she gets good and hairy, what you do is you shave your legs and say, listen, only one of us can be like this. You get to choose which. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
As the NFL heads into Week 18, the final regular season weekend, the San Francisco 49ers are still the betting favorite to win Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. The Niners are plus 210. They've already locked up the number one seed in the NFC. The number one seed in the AFC, Baltimore, is the second betting favorite to claim the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The Ravens are plus 350. The Dallas Cowboys are plus 850 to win the championship. The Kansas City Chiefs are plus 950 to repeat. The Buffalo Bills, who have won 4 straight, they're also plus 950. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know? Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
O'Reilly.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce True brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at gculopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I hesitate to clean up the text line just because all of it had to do with what we were all just talking about. Kind of want to move on, so I'm just going to read through it real quick. Pull the Plug says, is there a weight limit on January? Don't think those two things are related. Moist One says, I enjoy a nice carpet. Okay. Coom Coom says, toe hair is a category on Feet Finder. You know, the feet with a triangle get more money than the unkept toe.
What is he talking about? Feet with a triangle.
Is he talking about a dating site for people with foot fetish?
I have no idea. Are you Rex Ryan?
Why do you know this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Big George says, Jeffrey, armpit hair is a delicacy. Oh, I didn't think I want to read this anymore. Moving on. Killer Rabbit says, yes.
From the bottom of my heart.
He says, yes. Harry Spider Babla says, Arana. Okay, I'm not reading that. It's probably something. I ain't reading that out loud. I think he's trying to get me to say something horrible in Spanish. So, all right, we're caught up. Moving on. NFL stuff. Let's talk about that. Jonathan Gannon came out today, said, no doubt that Kyler Murray is our franchise quarterback. That means he's being traded. Anytime you get some sort of statement like that, it's
that
the
was
end.
Jonathan, but that's Jonathan Gannon. That's not the GM.
That's not Monty Awesome Fart.
No,
So
that's now if Monty comes out and says that, I think then I have some questions.
Or Bidwell.
Yeah.
Usually, the owner says
The
it.
people making the more financial decision. The coach can like a guy all he wants to, and I'm sure him and the general manager will have conversations before decisions get made. But Jonathan Gannon can like Kyler as much as he likes.
Yep.
Not gonna really make a difference if someone offers something in a trade that would make Monty Ossenfort go, I'd be dumb to turn this down.
Well, yeah, Jonathan Gannon can say, no doubt that Kyler Murray is our franchise quarterback, because the sentence can continue. No doubt Kyler Murray is our franchise quarterback who we are trading. See, easy as that. It is not a lie. He's not lying. So
He's
right
a
now,
franchise
that's the truth.
quarterback right now. Also, I distinctly remembering one Cliff Kingsbury saying almost word for word the same thing about Josh Rosen before he was replaced by.
That's our
Kyler.
guy, is what he said.
Yeah.
That's our guy. Okay.
That's our guy to trade. Yeah.
So the equation still remains the same. I'm really sad about this. DJ Humphries, it turns out it's official. He tore his ACL last week, and that is the end for him. He will not be in the lineup for the game against the Seahawks. DJ Humphries, that's a good player. That's like one of your better players, man.
And I thought this offensive line was doing quite a bit better this season. I don't know that they were last place. I think they're somewhere in the middle of the pack, 14, 15 for offensive.
Yeah, the old line's been all right.
I think this is probably the best O-line play we've seen in quite some time here in Arizona. So,
yeah.
And DJ Humphries was a good part of that. Paris was a good part of that. I mean, infusing that young man off of the draft board early and brought him in. I mean, these are kind of things we've been saying, Jeffrey. You got to identify your needs. It's not a linebacker first. And you got to go out and address those needs. And it's been just when Steve, old drunky drunk Kime was here, it was always a linebacker or, cornerback or something like that, rather than an offensive line that would help you, have a better offense. But hey, that's in the past. We're moving forward here. I don't know. I don't know if I like the Kyler Murray move, but from a business standpoint, I kind of see why. I mean, it's they made a mistake. They signed him to this huge contract.
I hope he comes back.
Well, is it going to be something that I just don't know how to deal with this right now. There's so many good quarterbacks in this draft. I would sure like for us to get one.
Sorry, I was talking about DJ Humphries, not Kyler Murray. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, I think he will. Isn't he under contract for a while, DJ Humphrey?
I don't know. The ACL for a lineman, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, it's not impossible, but
yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back in time. I don't know if he'll be back in time for camp. The ACL, is that a year?
Yeah,
is that
if
a year
you
on that?
tear your ACL at this point in the season, you'll probably be back by this point next season. So he'll basically be out next year.
That's too bad. Other injuries, the Packers won't have center Ken Bauman. He has passed away at the age of 81. What?
I was trying to think Ken Bauman who.
I feel like it was irresponsible letting him play this at this age, but he just says Packers center Ken Bauman died at 81. So maybe they should have put the word former in front of that.
That would have helped a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think the Packers have a Ken Bauman. I was trying to think.
Yeah. Center.
Bauman. Have I heard that name before?
Yeah. He was in 3 championships there for Vince Lombardi right there.
Well, I mean, if he was 81 and Al Michaels is coming back at 80,
anything
what
can
could happen in the middle of a Thursday night game?
Right. Well, for Ken Bauman, nothing, because he's dead.
For Al Michaels, I don't think any of those games will be shocking enough to put him in any danger.
Yeah.
Herb Street starts to give some hand loss, and all of a sudden you hear a thump. Al Michaels has left the building.
Yeah. He died doing what he loved.
Dark Thoughts with Randy White.
So this week is going to be really hard for us to do picks.
Yeah.
Every quarterback almost is going to be rested. And seriously, like 12 different backup quarterbacks are going to play. And I don't mean the backups that were already playing. I'm saying if a team has clinched the playoff spot, they are not playing their quarterback. Few exceptions. There are some, but there's few. And for one, Patrick Mahomes in week 18, not starting. Blaine Yo Gabber Gabbert is going to start. He hasn't started a game since 2018. Yeah, 2018 since he's had a start. And he's hot garbage as it is. They're going with Yo Gabber Gabber. Who are they playing? Because they're going to get a win. And the Jaguars.
I think it's the Los Angeles Chargers.
No, you're right. It's the Chargers. Gabbert was drafted by the Jaguars.
Blaine Gabbert versus Easton Stick.
Man, there's the matchup nobody wanted, but you're getting. This is going to be a horrible week.
Picks are going to be a nightmare. How do you pick this week? Carson Wentz is starting for the Rams.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz against Sam Darnold.
Oh, boy.
That is the matchup because Sam Darnold is starting for the 49ers, and that's the matchup. Rams versus 49ers.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. This is
How
going to be bad.
awful.
Nick Mullins is going to start for the Vikings. Well, that's not a rest thing. They're just desperately.
Yeah, they've just been cycling between Hall and Mullins,
bad.
and neither of them have done much.
So they have to beat the Lions to even have hope for being in the postseason. Yeah. Tyler Huntley is going to start for the Ravens. So Lamar Jackson, he said, "This is my resume. Make me MVP on this. I will not be giving you another game until the playoffs." So Huntley, didn't Huntley used to be with the Cardinals? He used to be the backup for the Cardinals. He actually is not bad. In fact, he's a good backup for Lamar Jackson. That makes that a little easier. Who are the Ravens playing? I don't have my list in front of me here. Bengals? No, that was who they played last time.
I think they play the Steelers.
Steelers? Oh, yeah, Ravens going to win there. That one's easy to pick. Trevor Siemian is starting for the Jets versus the Patriots. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's going to be the worst game we've ever seen, ever, in our entire lives. Can you think of a worse game than right now, the Jets with Trevor Siemian versus the Patriots with anybody? Oof.
No, not really. Because those are two pretty solid defenses going up against two very bad quarterbacks.
Good God, how do you pick that? So then your Commandos starting Sam Howell. Again, not a rest thing, just I don't know.
Not a rest thing. Jacoby Brissett got injured like immediately last game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right, Moist One. I was wrong. It wasn't Tyler Huntley, it was Brett Hundley. Different guy. In that case, I have no opinion. Now I got to go back.
Yeah, the Ravens actually drafted Tyler Huntley, and he's just been their backup this whole time.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
I just pulled it up.
Oh, he did. He's like, sounds wrong, but let him keep going.
You said it, and I was typing it there, but I was also trying to talking. Yeah.
So Ron Rivera says Sam Howell because who cares? That was actually the statement.
Who
are you guys playing?
Dallas.
Holy crap! Is Dak playing? I haven't seen anything about him.
I think Dallas wants. I didn't say anything about Dak either. I think Dallas wants to win this game.
Well, they will. So Ron Rivera, he says, "Hey, I most certainly do appreciate my time here, and we'll see what happens." And that is the weakest.
So that's it. I'm out.
And we'll see what happens. We know what's going to happen.
I'm out.
See you later.
I think I left this place in a better place than when I got here.
Except that he didn't. He left it in quite literally the same place. The team had
was his MO though, wasn't it?
The team had the second round pick.
Ain't gonna help you. Ain't gonna hurt you.
They were coming off the Dallas game. They got beaten to death, and they were coming with a second round pick gifted to Ron Rivera. At that point, Ron Rivera drafts Chase Young and then does nothing for the next 4 years just to have a team set up to get beaten to death by Dallas and gift the next guy the second overall pick.
So Ron, you think you'll be here next year? Well, I'd like to think that I left this place better than when I found it. And I've enjoyed my time here in the nation's capital. And well, yes, we'll see what happens.
Gail said, I'd like to think we're in a better place. No, what they said is you'll be in a better place. He's in a better place now.
We're in the same place. You are. Look, if you need a ride to the airport, I'll drive you myself.
So Jeff Driscoll is going to start for the Browns. They're going to rest Joe Flacco.
Well, that's probably good.
Yeah. You remember Jeff Driscoll? He used to be on the Cardinals there, practice squad. Now he's not. He's starting for the Browns. Joe Flacco, he's just like, man, I'm starting to realize I'm older here because if I had messed up in high school, I could be some of these guys' dad.
Wow.
Matt Stafford is over there just sort of sweating it out like, I can't seem to connect with these guys. Flacco's like, I could have effed your mom. Seriously, that's how old I am. I don't even care. I've been in this league 16 years. I could have boned your mama. Yeah, that's me, Joe Flacco. Not even trying. Another report here. Frank Ryan will not be available for the Browns, and that's why they have Jeff Driscoll, because Frank Ryan has passed away at the age of 87.
Again.
He was their last living championship quarterback.
Well,
and the Browns broke even him back in the day because he actually left football after that and became a mathematician. You broke him.
Wow. He won a championship and then left that organization to go do math on purpose.
Quite honestly, he made more money doing math than he did playing football.
I'm sure he did.
Quite honestly, back in the day.
Probably.
Yeah. No, he started doing government math. Yeah, he was director of information services for the House of Representatives.
And there it is.
He actually was the guy who started the first electronic voting system. So,
good. Wow.
We have him to blame.
Yeah.
For all of this craziness.
Yeah, go dig him up and kick his ass. I don't care. Dan Campbell,
the hanging chads,
Dan Campbell says the Lions, he's like, we're in the playoffs, but we're starting everybody. I'm playing all the starters versus the Vikings on Sunday. But you're in the playoffs. Don't care. That's our plan. Play our guys. And is it going to be the starters? And he's like, our players be ready. That's what you got to know. They're going to be there. We're playing everybody. I want my football team playing to win. I need them in win mode. Okay. Starters. Jesus.
It's Dan Campbell. It's the good of Dan Campbell. Hey. You also have to take with the crazy of Dan Campbell.
I love this guy.
That's just how he is, man.
If they break your quarterback's legs, you'd be like, get some splints on him. We're going.
Goff,
you're going.
He'll already be down low enough. They could buy some kneecaps from down there.
You're going. You're limping. You're hurting. You're crying. You're going.
Put some cortisone on it. Get the hell back in the game.
Walk it off, pansy.
I stinking love him, man.
I know, but man,
they're gonna have to turn to Teddy Bridgewater if anything happens.
He went 3 times in a row trying to get a 2-point conversion when on like the second or third time he should have kicked it and gone to overtime.
Yeah,
and
you're
now
right.
He's putting his starters on the field and he doesn't have to. And if something happens to Goff,
Dan Campbell is not wired like the rest of us. And unfortunately, you needed Dan Campbell to be the Lions team that you are now.
Oh, yeah.
So you take the good with the crazy. You have no choice. You have no choice.
If I'm the owner, I'm making a call. Hey, Dan, just an idea.
Listen, man, the owners of the Lions they're not even cognizant as to what the hell's going on.
They
don't even
out.
know.
Okay, the GM, Dan. Hey, Dan,
Brett Holmes.
An idea.
The GM doesn't go in Dan's office. No. He calls him on the intercom.
So the GM goes over to Jared Goff. Guess what? You have the flu. Here's how you fake those symptoms. Dan, he's got 108-degree temperature. Is that bad? Yeah, it's bad.
He says he feels like he's burning up, and no, that doesn't mean that he's on fire and ready to throw more passes.
Yeah. Now Dan Campbell goes, I'm burning for you. Let's get this game. No, Dan, he's gonna die if we. Oh well. All right, let's come back and do on this date in big Georgia sports history and whatever. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Looking for something different that's flexible, fulfilling, and pays well? How'd you like to get paid to work out? Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification.
There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. And once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you'll get a job. Trainers can make as much as $200 an hour. Yes, I said $200 an hour. And with ISSA, you can be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online.
Pursue your passion in specializations like yoga, nutrition, or strength training. Live life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want. Start your own business, work at a gym, or make health and fitness your side hustle. Whatever works for you. Just don't wait.
Get started today and be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 right now to get started for free. Text the word BENCH to 323232. Text BENCH to 323232.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
O'Reilly.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you hit, pass it, dunk it, shoot it, check it, throw it, putt it, or block it, then we're going to talk about it.
I like that. I just thought I'd clear that up.
1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know if the Jet tried to send me, but it's a bunch of weird computer gibberish that came on the screen. So whatever you sent didn't work, Jet. 888-368-1580. Beer Bob says, after hearing that ad, be certified for being a yoga instructor or physical trainer. You could do it all online. Glad to hear that 400-pound PE teacher had a backup plan. Yeah, that dude should call that number. Kiss the Cook says Art Donovan played with a broken leg. He was told to get in and just lay down in front of somebody or something. That is a true story. Last Optimist says Jets playing Trevor Siemian increases the odds of a Patriots win and Cardinals getting back into the number 3 draft spot. Could be. The Jet with more computer gibberish. I don't know what you're trying to send, but it ain't working. Moist One says, oh, no, I already read that one. Let's see. Big George says, yeah, Frank Ryan. Yep, Frank Ryan. Lost Toby says Cardinals are going to draft a kicker. No, they got a good GM now. They do. They have a good GM now. At least he's a wheeler and a dealer. So no, Lost Toby. Kyle G says Kyler Murray to the Falcons or the Giants this offseason. I don't know if they're going to get rid of him. I don't know if that's where they would try to get rid of him.
I don't think they will. They paid so much money; they'll be on the hook for so much more money. They wouldn't be able to sign anybody big. Sorry.
Well, because his contract takes up all the money in the room. But
he's laughing at me because I said sign anybody big.
And it's Skyler. I got it.
So, yeah.
Good times.
So, yeah. Oh,
but Jonathan Gannon is a big Kyler fan. I mean, just the way that they were chopping it up on the sideline, and Kyler made a big throw, and then Jonathan Gannon is running out to the sideline to go, high five him, and they're yelling at each other. Jonathan Gannon is not an actor. He's not a guy that can be two-faced. If he says he likes Kyler, I believe him.
Maybe we should talk about the Suns. They're playing tonight. The Clippers.
It's a good Clipper team.
Oh, that's going to be a good game.
Well, we don't have Kevin Durant. We don't have Damian Lee. They have everybody. And they also have started figuring it out.
The Clippers or the
The Clippers, yeah.
Yeah. Thought James Harden showing up there was just going to be silly, but,
Well, it took about 5 or 6 games of just stuff not working, but it seems like, they figured some things out. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, that's definitely helped. You can't have Harden and Westbrook in the.
I'm looking at the stat sheet. It shows that James Harden is getting 34 miles per gallon.
You mean minutes per game?
Per game.
Is that what that stands for?
That is
Yeah,
what that
yeah.
stands for.
I was going to say, man, these guys get some great gas mileage.
No, we need to keep an eye on you. You've had a long night, so
Yeah, I know. I haven't had a whole lot of sleep. So
only cars get miles per gallon.
So do motorcycles.
Well, vehicles. Let's just say vehicles get MPG. Gasoline operated vehicles get MPG.
Okay.
So
So
I could hear the gears in your head turning, trying to come up with something to, make me explain it. So I just went there and explained it in full because I know you. I've been around you too long.
what is Orpig?
Orpig?
Orpig.
Orpig.
ORPG. So it's something per game. Offensive rebounds per game. I've never tried to figure these things out. Our rocket propelled grenade? No, that's gonna be rebounds per game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not rocket propelled
No.
grenade.
That is correct.
Nothing to do with grenades.
This didn't take me long at all.
Well, good for you. You're very smart. You're very bright. You're as bright as a damn light bulb. That's how bright you are, man.
I can't see these. I can't see it very well through my paper here. So the Suns tonight at home, and they're not giving the Suns as much credible credit as the Clippers on this. Here's the money line. The Clippers are favored 165 minus 165. You take the money line on the Suns plus 140. I guess you could make some money, but only if they win. I wonder if they'll win. I can't tell you what the hell's going to happen.
Well, if they play the way they did against Portland and they distribute
Portland.
Well, I understand that, but if they distribute the ball around and everybody is a part of the team, and you have multiple guys in double digits as far as points go, and you don't rely on just Booker, or just one person on the team, you can't do that. You've got to distribute this ball around.
The newest darling of the Suns, isn't he?
Well, I mean,
a little bit, yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it just because of the potential he clearly has. The reason why he just doesn't get out on the floor anywhere that he's been in the league is the defense.
Are they letting him start this?
I don't believe they're letting him start, but he played a lot of minutes last game. I'm sure he'll be.
It's like that Jock Landale used to come running in when DeAndre Ayton was flat, which was like a lot.
Who?
Some guy.
Yeah. Jock Landale.
Yeah.
No, I know Jock Landale, but who was that other guy you were talking
about?
By the way, how is that guy? You know who I'm talking about. How's the old guy doing? How's he doing in Portland?
He's doing all right. I mean, he's doing the same thing he did here. He'll give you about 18 points and 10 rebounds a night. If you need more,
still not that aggressive on the board.
You're not getting more. No, he is the same guy.
Okay,
he is virtually the same man.
Yeah.
He sure showed us, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1993, in the biggest comeback in NFL history up till last year, Buffalo Bills quarterback Frank Reich, taking over for the injured Jim Kelly, overcame a 32-point third quarter deficit and beat the Houston Oilers 41-38 in overtime in a wild card playoff game. The Bills eventually lost the Super Bowl to Dallas, losing their third straight Super Bowl in 3 consecutive years. Okay, yeah, that's true. Who's the other big comeback? Who beat that record? If that was a 32-point third quarter deficit, well, what is the biggest one? George, you could have added that on there. So now I'm curious.
George.
Just left that out. Now, man, the Google foo that Keon is having to exhibit, he's getting cramps in his fingers from this. Frank Reich. Oh, Frank.
Working his fingers to the bone.
Moist one says Grayson Allen going to go off tonight.
Grayson Allen has been a big part of the Suns team all season long. I hope the Suns continue to use him and let him play. Just let him play, man. He'll go out there and get you 20, 25 points a night. Just let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm. So who's got the record? You got that yet, Keon?
Yes, it was last year, and we were all watching. It was the Vikings-Colts game, the 33-0 lead.
Why did your eye start twitching?
Because that was my team that gave up a 33-point lead, isn't it?
Yeah,
to the Vikings.
Third quarter deficit, and yeah,
I blocked that from my memory.
I'm going to be honest. I totally forgot to.
Yeah,
when it came up in the search, I was like, oh yeah, I did watch that game.
Can we just end the show right now?
Sure.
Just
bye.
End it. I mean, we can't. Just another minute. I think
it was like
several seconds. I think.
I mean, I was happy up to that moment. I was okay there. And I appreciate that, George.
And now we can just move on. And what we've learned on the blender today is several things. See, I'm trying to divert and get your mind off this, Jeffrey. We've learned that healthy poo floats to the bottom.
Yeah,
I mean sinks to the bottom.
Yes.
We've learned that it's January, and
don't say anything about it.
Don't say anything about that.
Mm-hmm. If she's hairy, just let it go.
We've learned you can't be a PE teacher remotely.
You can't be a PE teacher
from
remotely.
your bed over Zoom. And we've also learned, ladies and gentlemen, that don't mess with midget bikers. They'll kick your ass. That's what we learned on the show today.
If you're Ian Ziering. I'm still not sure if this is a man card violation.
I mean, I think everybody should know that. Don't get out on, don't go all up on midget bikers.
All right. Well, that's the end of this show. We'll see you tomorrow. Daily Blender, 1580, The Fanatic.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.